For me, the bar is very, very high, and I lower it for the civilian.
He's concerned.
Hello, everybody.
62.
It's
going to be able to
6:07. In about 3 minutes, we'll start at the meeting, so eat your pizza.
There is.
Jeff. Finish up the conversation.
And what pisses me off is I have so many stories. God.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
We can take our seats and get ready. What not? No, Christina.
I didn't know. Well, not for them to talk about something else.
Where is my...
Where is? I didn't get a
What?
thingy.
She said, where is, and I was going to say, where is pumpkin, where is it?
All right. It's 6:11.
Pass me an agenda.
Welcome to the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council Board and Stakeholder Public Meeting, or monthly meeting. We're going to go ahead and start, as we always do, with the flag salute, and I will take a volunteer as to who would like to do it. Cynthia, I saw your hand first. Thank you.
Please stand.
Ready? Begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I know. Feels like something you should be saying.
Now everybody breaks out to the Star Spangled Banner. Ready?
Okay, so let's go ahead and call roll.
Christina Barbera.
Present. Are you
Here.
Christina Barbera?
Hi, Christina. Christina 2. John Barbera.
Here.
Christina Calander.
Here.
The Christensen here. May Cordova. Correct.
Here.
Cordero Herrera.
Wait, there might be.
Adrian Fernandez.
There actually might be.
I think the
Adrian's here.
Cynthia Gagne.
Here.
Gwen Henry.
Present.
April Jones.
Here.
Melanie Lebrecq.
Here.
Kelly Miller.
Here.
Kane Nicholas said he'd be late, so at this point he is excused. Thomas Norman's excused. Ray Regalado.
Here.
Angela Sumner. And Chris Valle is excused. So that's 13 present right now.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on to general public comment. I have 2 public comment cards. If anybody wants to make a public comment on a non-agenda item, please fill out a card. And I have 2 so far. We're going to start off, again, I'll do them in the order in which I receive them. So, Melanie, you're up first as a stakeholder.
Hi, good evening. My name's Melanie, and I am a board member, but tonight I'm speaking to you as a stakeholder. So, on December 1st, Port of Los Angeles served the Greater Los Angeles Scouting with a notice of termination. It's a one-of-a-kind beachfront Cabrillo Youth Center, CYC, on Cabrillo Beach in San Pedro. The port's notice terminates the council's lease effective December 31st, 2025, 38 years after constructing the Cabrillo Beach Youth Center at a cost of $3.6 million. After serving hundreds of thousands of youth at CYC over these years, Greater Los Angeles Scouting is being evicted. A newly formed nonprofit organization, Pathway to Podium LLC, with involvement by the LA and Cabrillo Beach Yacht Clubs, will operate the new training facility under an interim short-term lease until sometime after the conclusion of the 2028 Olympics. This organization is a brand new nonprofit with no legacy or audit information on how they use public funds or accountability. Their mailing address is in Palos Verdes. The center has served many youth over the years at a number of over almost 17,000. When the meeting house was built in full facility, it was funded by Steven Spielberg with $3.6 million for the youth of tomorrow. The recent decision by the Port of Los Angeles to terminate the Cabrillo Beach Youth Center lease is deeply disappointing. This facility has been a cornerstone for youth development, providing invaluable programs for our Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops alike, and many other organizations. The site was instrumental in opening the doors to help UCLA camp counselors prepare the summer training and provide a place that would mimic their experience at Camp River Glen. Over the years, the CYC has impacted thousands of young lives, offering experiences and foster personal growth, community engagement, partnership, and has been the place that was reasonably priced to provide amazing experiences in our own backyard for very diversified youth, no matter what the income. Displacing this unique resource represents a significant loss for our youth and the larger community. One would hope that the port reconsiders this decision and recognizes the vital role that the Cabrillo Beach Youth Center plays. I personally have volunteered at the facility for Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts and assisting with their badges and learning the basics of photography. My family is deeply embedded in the scouting throughout the years. My mom was a leader for Cub Scouts for many years, even when her children were grown and gone, donating thousands of dollars to the area Cub Scouts through match donations through Disney, her employment. My mom provided several young boys uniforms that otherwise could not afford them. This is how important scouting is to my family. The Boy Scouts hope to reactivate CYC after the 2028 Olympics, but that also is presently unknown. As the port states, it plans to then offer the site to various organizations, an RFP, but that is presently unknown. Many jobs are going to be lost, and right at Christmas. There's no compensation for help for employees, just this 30-day vacate letter. There has been no public input on this, and it seems as though once the 30-day vacate letter is out, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. I'm asking for a public forum on this and the port to answer questions to the public in our community.
Thank you. Diana, Nate?
Good evening. I'm Diana Nave. I was one of the founders of this neighborhood council and a board member for 18 years, serving as president for 6 years. I know that several of you are new to the board, and this is a great opportunity for you to have an impact on our community. So I wanted to take a moment just to share with you some of the things the council previously did, and I think Melanie has just given a good example of some of the things that the council can do. Community forums is one of the things we've done very well over the years, particularly around issues like the Scout Camp. But some of the other things, if you look around Northwest, you can see the fingerprints of our neighborhood council in a number of areas. We planted the trees that are on Capitol Drive. We submitted a proposal to the port that resulted in a $5 million project that converted the dirt strip by the rail tracks on North Gaffey into the green belt you see today, the final phase which will soon be completed. April's going to like this one. We successfully advocated for the skate park to be built at Peck Park. We contracted with the Los Angeles Neighborhood Initiative to develop a plan for the Peck Park Canyon, which resulted in the city investing $8 million to restore the trails and build bioswales to help clean up the water before it reaches the ocean. We negotiated a significantly improved design for the Target store. It was really just a box before. We contracted with experts to help us regarding the Punta Vista development. This has a lot of meaning now that we're facing a new major development. Our involvement in that resulted in the number of units being reduced from the proposed 2,300 to just under the 700 that are being built today. I know many of you think that's still too many units, but can you imagine 3 times the existing density? For a number of years, we held Pathways to Employment, an annual event that provided employment information for community youth. We enlisted the Rotary Club as our partner and fiscal agent for this event. For several years, we actually gave youth scholarships based on community service, using funds that we solicited from local businesses, since the council's funds cannot be used in that way. We sponsored CERT training. We held an emergency preparedness fair right here. And at the end of every year, we put out a report to share our accomplishments with our stakeholders. These are just a few of the many things this neighborhood council has done. But most of what gets done by the council happens because a board member champions it. That's why I'm talking about it tonight. I hope that this will spark your imagination for what you can do as a board member. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. We have one more speaker card that was just presented, and this will be Gwen Henry speaking as a stakeholder.
I'm actually wanting to add to Melanie's comment. Something that everybody should know is that the military base here relies on scouting. Internationally, the scouting has provided continuity for the children of military, no matter where they are. There's been a very long historical connection between scouting and our United States military. And as a military town, having this youth center and the scouting component of it to be disconnected and ended just adds to something that is an update that the Department of Defense has announced that they are discontinuing their connection to scouting in the future. I don't know if there is a congressional aspect to this, but from what I understand, there is not, that Congress does not have to make a judgment on this. This means that scouting in connection with the youth that go along with their families all around the United States and the world may have a disconnect. There's additionally, scouting is, and the reason is that the Scouts used to be the Boy Scouts, and it was decided that girls could also participate in scouting, that the codes are something that all children should benefit from, and this is what they decided against. This is the belief. I hope that we can do something about this. Thank you.
Okay, that's the end of our public comment cards. No others? Going once? Going twice? Okay, that's it. We're going to move on to our next agenda item. And what I'd like to do is that agenda item number 5 is where we usually have our elected governmental and public safety representatives make a presentation, but our CD15 representative Drew is here, and she has a other commitment. So I'd like to ask if we can go ahead and give her the opportunity to come up and present her report. Thank you, Drew.
Hi, I want to keep this brief. But I just want, really quickly, do people here know what the term kvel in Yiddish means?
No.
Okay, so when you're kvelling, it means you are just glowing with joy and pride. That's what this word is. And for me, I am kvelling to see Alonzo Jenkins here, who has finished his term and still shows up. I remember a year and a half ago when he came to a Central San Pedro Neighborhood Council meeting, and he came up to the councilman and he said, I want to get involved. What can I do? And he's like, talk to Drew. And I connected him with Northwest. And here he is, and I just think it is such a beautiful thing that you created an environment where he wanted to keep coming back.
Yep.
So thank you, and it's a testament to Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council.
All right.
I had to give him $20 to show.
It's the pizza, right? All right. So I have a short update today. I want to talk about encampment cleanups for a moment. Do you know when you drive into San Pedro and you pass the beautiful stretches and swaths of Caltrans property, how pristine they are kept up with the amounts of trash and debris that just grace our slopes. So we've been pressuring Caltrans for months and months, clean up your property. So finally on December 4th, they cleaned up the slopes below Cafe Place. They cleaned up the exit of the 47 onto Harbor Boulevard. We will keep working with them to stay on it. District 7 encompasses all of LA County. It's a very big district. Nonetheless, they still have a responsibility to keep up with the cleanliness of their property, as well as to clean graffiti, which we will continue to work with them on, and to clear encampments. So it's something we're dedicated to. Thank you. But just know that if it's not on LA City property, all we can do is put pressure and pressure and pressure. We are looking into ways to cite them, hold them accountable, but for now, December 4th was the most recent cleanup. Care Plus has been requested for Cabrillo and Miraflores, that dead end there. It is a tricky area because even though it is at the end of Leland Park, the 4118 zone doesn't extend all the way to Miraflores. There will be cleanups happening there very soon. One of the suggestions that we had to the residents there was to create a gated community or to put a gate. And that is something that they are going to be looking into. So we will assist them if it's something that 100% of the residents want. Also, as you know, the no parking overnight signs were installed in the light industrial zone surrounding Paraiso Basin and Battery. Our unhoused services coordinator came on. We'll schedule an overnight enforcement operation with LADOT very shortly. I don't have a date yet, but he's working on it with them. We did, however, receive confirmation from LADOT that they will not conduct enforcement on dwellings, and so we are also relying on LAPD to help us with that. As you know, the slows go dark in December for all the holiday events that we're going to, so we do have more limited capacity for enforcement during this time, so we appreciate any patience that you have with our office, because we ourselves don't have enforcement capacity. We rely on our partners, like LAPD and LADOT. But know that it's not for lack of trying, and we are continuing to work on it. Caltrans closures. Many of you may have seen the update that there will be a full closure of the Vincent Thomas Bridge for a structural inspection. It will be closed in both directions between Ferry Street and Harbor Boulevard from 10:15 p.m. to 6:15 a.m. on Thursday, December 18th. So that's overnight from Thursday to Friday morning. Additionally, the northbound State Route 47 on-ramp at Harbor Boulevard and the southbound on-ramp at Ferry Street will be closed during the bridge closure. Traffic will be diverted from northbound I-10 to eastbound State Route 1, which is PCH, and southbound 47 to westbound State Route 1. So essentially, if you need to go across, traffic is being diverted through Pacific Coast Highway. Also, free trees on Saturday, December 13th at 10 a.m. from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. LA Sanitation will be hosting a composting workshop and free tree adoption. This is open to all LA City and LADWP customers. 7 tree limit per address for the lifetime of the address. Trees are currently 3 to 6 feet tall and come in 5-gallon containers, and the trees must be planted in the ground. The location is at SBCC, Heart of the Harbor Community Farm in Wilmington, at 550 East L Street. There is limited capacity, and there is a QR code to reserve your free tree, so I'm going to go ahead and give this to you. And also, some of you have seen that LA Sanitation has implemented new trash fees for rate-paying residents this month, affecting both the solid resources fee and the multifamily bulky item fee. This increase will appear on LADWP bills. However, financial assistance may be available to offset these fees. Residents who have already enrolled in either the Low-Income Financial Assistance Program, Easy Save, or the Lifeline Program will automatically have those discounts applied to the new rates. Residents who are not yet enrolled but want to explore assistance options can visit DWP website at LADWP.org. wp.com/financial assistance to see if you qualify. And that is it in terms of updates. I did see that you brought up the youth center. We did receive an update from the councilman, so if you want, I can share that with you. So the 30-day notice is not a hard and fast notice. We are working with the port and negotiating an upwards of 90-day extension, longer if they need it. It doesn't mean that the scouts have to leave the facility. It just means they will no longer have site control of the facility. So our commitment is to continue the youth of our community to continue to be able to use that facility. What that will look like, I don't know, but the councilman is committed to making sure that our youth will continue to use the facility, that it will be open to even more community members. Once again, we do not control that facility. It's a port-controlled facility. The port owns it. So while we have no power over them, we do have goodwill and hopes to influence and create a better situation than what is currently on the, to create a better situation for the community than what is currently believed to be happening in the community. Like I said, I don't know what that looks like yet, but the councilman is committed to not only giving them negotiating an extension with the port, but also ensuring access for the scouts and for youth going forward. Yes, Melanie.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then somebody needs to contact Greater Scouts of America and tell them that, because they are telling them to vacate. The upper management has told them they have to pack up the store and everybody's scheduled full time to be out of there by the 23rd. And I've got that confirmed as of this afternoon.
Okay, well, I'll share that with Axel. I don't know what the port's been communicating with them. I do know that the councilman asked Axel to help them find a new location for the store, and so he's going to be working on finding them a new location in San Pedro for that store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were told by the 23rd they had to pack up the store completely.
I know that there's an extension that's going to be going through, so
Yeah.
but I will share that with Axel that has not been communicated to the council.
And those employees, nobody's doing anything to help transition for them. Nothing. Zero.
Mm-hmm.
That's not okay. Somebody needs to step in and do some sort of employment transition for them to help them.
Mm-hmm.
This is not how we do things in our community.
Right. I do know that this has been the topic of discussion for many months with the Boy Scouts. So there have been negotiations going back a long time. I don't know what the fruits of them were because I wasn't present. I just know that they existed. So I don't know that the picture that we're being painted is the entire picture.
Right. But the thing that I don't know that's totally understood is CYC is basically the lease tenant for the port,
mm-hmm.
for the property on a month-to-month because the RFP, it was a problem writing the RFP or whatever happened.
I don't know.
But the scout shop is a separate entity. They lease from CYC. So there's two different entities that you're working with here. And so you've got
it sounds like
the manager at the scout shop, you've got a seamstress at the scout shop, and you've got 4 employees under them that are now being displaced of employment that they've relied upon, especially the manager of the store and the seamstress.
Well, our office is working on getting them an alternate location. We're working on it. So that they'll be able to just move somewhere else instead of having to close up shop altogether.
Okay, let's move on. Adrian, question?
Hello, hi, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question on the 4118 for Leland.
Mm-hmm.
How far does it go straight to Miraflores and it ends right there?
If
Does
you
it
look at the
cover-
map,
Yeah.
it's maybe 50 feet onto Cabrillo from the park.
So does that whole street of Cabrillo Avenue where it
No,
goes?
it's a third of it.
Oh, because
Next to the park.
Because I do walk to that park
Yeah.
nearly every day, and I don't see that many people who are unhoused. I know a couple of years ago it was nothing filled with
so it's
encampments.
specifically on Cabrillo, that dead-end street at Miraflores.
Okay.
There's an encampment there right now.
Okay. Okay. I mean, not that I've seen, but
Yeah, not in the park. They bounce around from that
Yeah.
location to the skate park and back and forth. So
Okay.
when they know we're going to conduct enforcement, they leave, and then they come back. So we're working on it.
Okay. And then right next to it, there's a vacant property right there. And that property used to attract a lot of the encampments. Is there any idea on what that property is going to?
I know he wanted to build self-storage, and then he was open to housing. I don't know where it's at currently, but I can look into it.
Thank you. I just want that clarification.
If you can just send me an email to remind me to ask what's going on with that property, that would be super helpful.
Yeah, because I'm just concerned because I wouldn't like to see that property become something and then it goes back to what it was and attracting more encampments.
Yeah, we're on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Any other? Oh, go ahead.
So, at the time of the ship burning, first off, I texted you at an odd time, and it wasn't actually intended for you, but somehow it was sent to you, and you responded at a very odd time of night, which I
think it
greatly
was like
appreciate.
5 in the morning or something.
It was an absurd time, yes.
You can thank my 2-year-old for that.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, but I want to applaud Tim McOsker's office for being so responsive and so proactive during that time, and the whole feedback regarding the emergency system, which still obviously needs a lot of work.
So the councilman actually gave them some colorful suggestions, which is what resulted in them sending out that alert like 2 days later. He's like, you need to send an alert. Where's that secondary alert? And so they tried to CYA by sending that reminder. It was lifted. So they did submit, or they did put up a post on X when the hazardous, whatever, the shelter in place was lifted, but they didn't send out an alert. So
both. I kind of assumed because the original alert that everybody had to shelter in place was a fiasco. I received no alert. Neither did my significant other. And he has an iPhone. I have an Android, and neither of us received it. So, and I had to alert my neighbor who always leaves his windows open, and he was definitely asleep at that time. I only found out because I woke up at literally 15 minutes after it had hit some other alert systems.
Yeah.
And somebody texted it in a comment.
I have a Verizon phone and an AT&T phone, and it showed up as one of those beep, that really noisy one.
I have a Verizon phone, and it did not.
And then I also have Notify LA, which I recommend everybody sign up for Notify LA. Because if that doesn't get to you, they will text you. Yeah. Notify LA, sign up. Google Notify LA and sign up for updates. They will send you a text message.
I believe that I have that. I also have.
Sign up again.
Different things.
Sign up again. Just sign up again. Just do it.
Okay.
Because I do not have the ability to check the Notify LA system to check your phone number, so just sign up.
Exactly. And yeah. I mean, we've gotten alerts before without a problem.
So the reason that they issued it at that time was because up until then the wind was blowing all the smoke away, and when the winds shifted and started blowing the smoke towards us, that's when they issued that alert.
Right. But also, I would like to know if Tim McOsker had any input in them finally evacuating the ship, towing it out to sea to continue.
No, that was all Coast Guard and LAFD. It was actually a kind of funny story. He was there until like 5 in the morning that night.
Yeah.
And he got home and he told us, Connie turned to me and said, they probably could have done all that without you. But he was there, and it was all between the Coast Guard and the fire department. But he likes to be there, and he likes to be present, and he's an amazing leader, and it's such an honor to work for him.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Any other question? Any other questions from around the table?
You already answered it.
No.
I have.
April.
Hey, I just have a quick question about the encampments and the skate park. We've been down there recently. There's one vehicle that's been parked down there for a few days, and there's really large bags of trash. They're just on top of the vehicle, surrounding the vehicle.
I know this vehicle.
This weekend, we're actually having a small community cleanup. We're going to paint over some tagging and stuff, and so I'm bringing some of the kids down there to help us.
Okay.
But it's just like one vehicle that's a little. Sometimes I'll engage if they're out. I'll be like, "Hey guys, we maintain this area," but it looks a little sketchier than So it's kind of a new vehicle. So I was going to text you, but since we're here.
Yeah, still text me. I will
Okay.
do my best. We have our other Winter Wonderlands this weekend.
Okay.
So it's going to be a little tough to get a team out there, but maybe we'll be able to. Now that is Caltrans and Highway Patrol. We did request clearer signage with a clear 72-hour parking limit. So hopefully we'll be getting those new signs installed. When? I don't know, but we've requested them.
Okay, yeah, maybe, I don't know, even if someone could just, I don't know, before this weekend.
I'll work with, send me a message, send me an email, and I'll shoot it over to our partner over in Highway Patrol.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm so sorry. I had one more question about the ship.
Okay, quick question, please.
Will there be a report as to what was burning on the ship? Will that come through at some point?
I believe there's always an after-action report that will be generated. Will it discuss what's on there? I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know if it'll get there. Yeah.
That's it.
Anything else? No? Okay. Any questions from the audience?
Thank you. 311, your bulky items. The day before trash day.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. I see we have a representative for the fire department, but can we kind of get back to our regular agenda item and then bring you up in a couple?
That's fine. The only problem is I may not be here if I get run. I gotta go.
I understand.
You should just let him go.
Then with that, then why don't we just have you, and we'll finish off this agenda. Go ahead. Come on up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you inviting the Los Angeles Fire Department to be here. On behalf of my boss, Fire Chief Jamie Moore, and my other boss, that would be the Bureau Commander of the Operation South Bureau, Stephen Gutierrez, I'd like to say thank you for allowing the Fire Department to be here. My name is Battalion Chief Roy Page. I am Battalion Chief for Battalion 6, which covers the Harbor Gateway, Wilmington, as well as San Pedro. I'm here to speak about the effectiveness and efficiency of the men and women of the Los Angeles Fire Department, specifically Fire Station 36, which is located at 1005 North Gaffney. That is the fire station that's closest to your neighborhood for the Northwest, excuse me. Allow me to give you some information in regards to their efficiency and their effectiveness. Total this year, as far as responses, they've responded to approximately 1,825 emergency calls. Of those calls are broken down into two categories. EMS, which is about 86% of the calls that they went on. The other portion of that, 14%, would be structure fires. With that being said, those, on average, they respond to approximately 6 calls per day. Rubbish fire-wise, they responded to 106 rubbish fires. On average, the fire department goes to about 90 rubbish fires a day. They respond to about 1 rubbish fire a day. Now, specifically, the fire department wanted to bring some information to you in regards to things that are happening that are current. One of the major things that we're looking at now is because we're getting colder, and it's getting colder now, we have to think about our heaters. We're utilizing heaters more, and so we haven't used them all year long, and so now we're going to fire them up. So we've got the lint, we've got the dust, and we've got everything else that's located inside of those. So it might be a good time to make sure we get those checked out. Contact Southern California Gas to make sure that they're good, they're efficient, they're effective, that you have no leaks. The other thing I would tell you is, and I know we always do spring forward, fall backwards, that's when we check our smoke detectors. I look at it from a different perspective. Every chance you have, take advantage of it. Specifically now, because we have other factors, Christmas trees, lights, candles, and those other things. What a great opportunity now for you to check your smoke detectors to make sure that they're working and you have batteries. Typical smoke detectors have about a 10-year lifespan, but you don't want to wait and find out the hard way that 10 years turned into 6 years. Okay, things happen. So please take that opportunity to take a look at your smoke detectors. The other thing I would tell you is for those folks, because it's Christmas time, that like to utilize candles in regards to their process of worship for Christmas, please, if you leave your home, blow out your candles. If you go anywhere and you're not in the room where those candles are, extinguish them. Wintertime is the largest time that we have fires, and those two factors come down to heaters and also candles. A candle in a moment's notice can cause a huge amount of damage to a home. So please, if you're utilizing candles, be very careful with that. Also, for our folks that are utilizing Christmas trees that are live, I would ask that you make sure that the water is filled up at all times. If you're not home, please turn the lights off on the Christmas tree. If you are home, enjoy that Christmas tree, but please check the water. Rub your hands through the pine needles. If the needles start coming off, that means your tree's dry. It's starting to die out, and there's a problem there. Okay? So please be careful with that because they go up in a moment's notice. Now, I've brought flyers that are located on the back table that talk about the disposal of Christmas trees. Fire Station 36, which is located, as I said, 1005 North Gaffey, will be collecting Christmas trees. They'll take them till the middle of January, as well as the Department of Sanitation will take them. You can cut them up and put them into green waste, or you can also make a phone call. There's leaflet information that's back there that gives locations throughout the city of Los Angeles. So if you have friends and family that are located in different areas, please pass that information on to them, as well as there's locations and times where they will accept them. Now, the last thing I will bring up is, as we all know, it's getting darker sooner. So with that being said, we now have Christmas break that's coming up. So with that, we're going to have more foot traffic, youth that are out there in the streets. So please, I would ask you to be cautious and careful as you're driving out there on the Christmas holidays. With that, I'm open for any questions.
So wouldn't the fire hazard to turn off lights also be for artificial lights that you shouldn't, you shouldn't leave your lights on your trees, artificial trees, when you leave? Either,
well,
right?
Artificial trees are very different because they are built in the manner that they won't burn. They will burn to a certain point, they'll drip, but they won't continuously burn. A live tree will continuously burn. It'll ignite the entirety of the tree. The same won't happen with an artificial tree, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Kelly?
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. I think the fire department doesn't get as much appreciation as it needs. So thank you so much for everything that you do for us and for our community. We appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. We have some hardworking men and women throughout the San Pedro, Harbor Gateway, and Wilmington area that do an outstanding job, that are here to protect you 24/7.
Thank you.
Christina, did I hear you start to say something?
No, I said, oh, wow, I didn't know that about artificial trees.
Any other questions from around the table? I don't see any hands up. Any questions from the audience? I see none. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and we hopefully will be seeing more of you in the next
good capacity
time.
Yeah, big
So
fans.
Please come on.
If you invite us, we will be here, and most importantly, be safe and have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I do not see any other elected or department representatives. So I'm going to go ahead and close out agenda item number 5. And we're going to go back up to our regular order of our agenda. And I believe that puts us at agenda item number 3.
Presentation.
Harbor Connects, thank you for being patient. We appreciate your time. Come on.
Hello, everyone. I'm Megan Langfield. I serve
Can
as
you get closer to the mic?
I serve as the executive director of Harbor Connects, and with me.
I'm Travis Cole. I'm the engagement coordinator at Harbor Connects.
Some of you may know of Harbor Connects prior to me even joining the organization. We used to have a very strong relationship with our neighborhood councils. I'm going to talk a little bit about our history, and then Travis will talk about who we are and what we do now, and then hopefully we'll answer any questions or comments from you all. Harbor Connects started as the Harbor Neighborhood Relief Fund in 2020 during the lovely thing called the pandemic. A bunch of community leaders in San Pedro got together and recognized that folks couldn't meet their immediate needs, that they needed support very timely, and there wasn't anywhere for them to go to get that. So they raised over $200,000 and put it all directly back into the community. They would meet once a week on Zoom, review applications, and then deliver gift cards or food or whatever it was that folks needed. Through that work, they realized folks' needs didn't go away just because the pandemic ended. And so Harbor Connects came to be as a nonprofit in 2022. And our current mission is to provide support to our neighbors and service providers in the fight against homelessness. And Travis will talk with you all about how we do that.
So Harbor Connects functions through 3 main pillars, which are wayfinding, micro grants, and convening. So what those three pillars are is wayfinding is system navigating services. So we provide assistance to anyone, anywhere in California or anywhere in the country who needs help connecting to services. So if it is in the South Bay, if you're in Service Planning Area 8, then we are experts and we're very familiar and work closely with all of the organizations here and can help you connect to the place that we know you can qualify for the funding that they provide. If you're elsewhere, we'll do research and do our best, but we don't know the resources as well, of course. And we also do this for other service providers by connecting them to each other. Sometimes a service provider will come to us and say, we're working with this family and they need XYZ, and we're able to connect them to Toberman or another organization that can fill that need. And then what we're most known for is our micro grants. So we provide micro grants up to $500 per household on a 12-month rolling basis. And these are intended to fill gaps in the system. So we're really here to support other service providers. And we're helping folks on their journey of becoming a remaining house. So if a funding source exists that can fill the need of the person we're working with, we'll always refer to that. But otherwise, that's when we can step in. So we get to pay for a lot of really unique things. We do a lot of vehicle repairs, vehicle registrations for unhoused individuals. We help with school-related things, career things. Sometimes it's as simple as getting somebody a pair of work boots because they were offered a new job, but they don't have any funds in their bank account and they can't get these boots to start their new job. So we can do that, then they have an income and can keep paying their rent, right? So that's what we're most known for, and what most folks reach out to us for is our micro grants. And then our final pillar is convening, which is really focused on bringing folks together in collaboration. So we do this formally and informally. We do host a Wilmington Collaborative that happens once a month, where we bring together leaders in Wilmington as well as the community and other service providers, and we identify issues that the community is facing and then work together to overcome these challenges and see how we can all put resources together to make things happen. And then more informally, we bring service providers together when we have unique situations. Sometimes we'll have an individual or a family, or we've even had an entire building of folks who are going to be evicted or displaced, and oftentimes they've already connected with multiple service providers, and we're able to reach out to all of those providers, bring them together, and then really dig into, okay, who can do what, how can we work together to provide the best support possible. And that's pretty much it. One thing I forgot to mention, with our micro grants, we serve specifically Council District 15 with those micro grants, so that's San Pedro, Wilmington, Harbor City, Harbor Gateway, and Watts. So somebody has to live in one of those 5 communities to qualify. The other services we can do for anybody anywhere.
Yeah, the last thing I'll add is that Travis mentioned briefly, we're set up to support other service providers. So we're a really unique model in that most of our referrals are coming from Toberman, Harbor Interfaith, Boys and Girls Club, for someone they're working with and their funding can't cover that need. So we really are intended to be quick, easy, nimble funding. Another thing that sets us apart is how quickly we can fund things. We know that there are lots of programs and lots of parameters to qualify for those programs. And sometimes folks can't access funding for weeks, even months at a time. And so we can come in and pay for something as quick as 10 minutes. Oftentimes it takes longer, but we can be as quick as 10 minutes if somebody has an emergent need that needs help in that moment. Melanie, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. So where does your funding come from?
Good question. Our seed funding came from Council District 15 during the Buscaino administration.
Oh,
right?
It originally came from CD15?
Correct. Yep. It was, we began under LAPD reinvestment dollars, actually. So that's where our seed funding came from. Today, our funding is a mix of public, private, and donations. As we're looking ahead into the coming year, the budget for homeless services looks abysmal at best. We're seeing that budget cuts are happening across federal, state, county, and city budgets. And so We're facing hardship as we look forward to what our unhoused neighbors are going to need and the resources available to meet those needs. For us, it becomes even more of a motivator because we know that our service providers' gaps are going to grow. Some of their programs aren't going to be funded. They're going to have to potentially lay off staff, right? And for us, that means fundraise harder so that we can continue to
Right.
make service.
So, like most nonprofits and stuff, you have like a pie chart of a percentage. So what percentage goes to administration and what percentage goes out to the people that you're giving to?
Yeah, great question. So the golden rule for nonprofits is to have a 20% or less overhead. We actually have closer to about a 30% overhead rate, and that's because we're such a small organization. You're looking at our entire team in front of you. We successfully served 1,100 people somehow last year, just the two of us, which is pretty impressive. But as we continue to grow our programs, those numbers will shift, if you will, right?
They shift.
Yeah. Our priority, though, is to get grants that will cover our salaries so that folks that are making donations to our organization, their money is going directly back into the community. So we do receive public, private, and corporate dollars.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Question. Yes, Vic.
Do you accept any non-monetary donations, specifically things like clothes, school supplies, and especially in the case of clothes, but also anything, does it need to be brand new or can it be used?
Good questions. We only accept donations if we have a place for them to go. So most often we refer folks to Toberman, Harbor Interfaith, places that have clothing closets or a system already in place to get these things into folks' hands. That's not to say that we won't take donations. If you ever have anything that you'd like to donate, we would just suggest reaching out to us and we'll decide whether or not we take it or if there's a better place we think that it can be given to the community. Good question. Yes.
A couple of months ago, we had Danny Lamas and Nicholas Walden in from Circle. Do you guys also work with them?
I just had lunch with them today. Yes. I actually had lunch with the LAFD and Circle team today as we're looking at strengthening our safety net in the harbor community specifically.
So that's one place where, because they came in and said we could take clothes to Circle, so that's another place.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So Circle, for those of you, well, all of you know at this point, right? Because they came and talked with you, but they're our outreach team. So they call us often when they're in need of a hotel stay, when somebody can't get into shelter immediately, and we're usually able to fill that gap for them. Yep.
Any other questions from around the table? I see no hands. Any questions from the audience? Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I did bring resource cards that I left on the table. I'll
Good.
leave some with you all as well. People always want to help, at least that's what I believe, and don't know how. So we created a resource hub to help folks access the right service at the right time. And so I'll leave those. You can give them to the public, but use them also if you need them. Great. Thank you
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having us.
for all the work that you do in the community. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the end of agenda item number 3. We're moving on to number 4, which is our homelessness liaison report. Lori is not here. She is on some cruise someplace in the
Without us.
out of the area. So Melanie is going to be Lori.
By herself.
So everybody, you should have, this should be in your packet. I don't know if you took a chance to look at it, upload it. It's pretty dim. The positive note is everybody, if you can, sign up for the homeless count. They need the numbers. They need people to sign up. And the link is on the report to do that. This report includes a lot of information about funding critical programs. You know, it's going to go up. It's dismal. With unemployment high, wages are low, food security is real, healthcare costs are doubling, affordable housing is almost invisible. The budget cuts will be total crippling.
one of the things they are doing is removing safe parking, the funding for it. So safe parking they won't have anywhere for to send people to park. So once again, you're going to have the neighborhoods and other places overflowing and Walmarts and all of that with people parking there instead. The other concern is with all these things happening from the administration, all the cuts, that the homeless count is going to increase. There's going to be a lot more problems. And then with the ACA being cut, and up, people's health insurance is going up 125% for their premiums. And some will just choose not to have health insurance. So what's going to happen is people are going to go financially bankrupt on medical problems. And what causes that? It will drive people out of their homes and into their cars because they can't live in their homes anymore or afford the rent. HUD, they've got this continuum of care that they're proposing, and what it does is the proposal is at stark odds in public opinion. It's that 0.75% of the respondents in Morning Consult poll believe that the organization has lack of resource to make the needed impact. Moreover, 75% agree with the statement that homelessness is solvable. What they're trying to do is consolidate. So what they're doing is trying to take, and it proposes moving continuum of care program along with housing opportunities for persons like with AIDS into an emergency solutions grant. And so they put it all in one big box, and the program represents the federal government's key vehicle in distributing homeless funds. The proposed consolidation would effectively eliminate funding for critical activities, including permanent supportive housing, coordinated entry, and overall continuum of care planning. They're proposing that the HUD program is going to be reduced, a 30% cap. They're going to cut Section 8 housing vouchers. Some people will find themselves without vouchers anymore and become homeless, which is dire. And so all of this, the overall stuff, it's like the reduction, DHSS is recommending 25% cut to homeless services in 1 year. It's an improvement for earlier 35% cut forecast, thanks for identification of $87 million in one-time revenue and program efficiencies. The funding gap is, even with extra $67 million, the estimated gap between program costs, $865 million, and projected revenue remain at $216 million. What is being cut? Zeroed out. 33 programs will be eliminated, cutting $71.8 million of programs. There will be reduced. 10 additional programs will see budget reductions totaling $46.1 million. Key program reduction, the Pathway Home initiative, is essentially cut, $91.7 million off the budget. Level increased funding, only 4 programs are kept at the same funding level, and 5 programs will receive increases through the reallocation of $120.2 million. The county adopted a budget cut because of the financial crisis, and part of the problem is they're funding all the wildfires, and they're funding all the lawsuits for the child abuse cases. So they have to they're like apples to oranges, pulling money in different places to cover all these costs. So, yeah. I just go to the links, read all the reports because it's dismal, and everybody be aware of what's going on out there. There's a lot of things we can do as individuals. We can donate. You can be cognizant of your neighbor, of what's going on. Try and lend a hand to your neighbor if you see them, that they're struggling. Try and see what you can do for them to help them, because we're all in this together and helping each other. I don't know. I I'm not Lori. I can answer some questions, but
Well, no, we truly appreciate, you going through the report for us, and the report is usually, and it continues
It's very
to be
thorough.
very, very informative. The issue of homelessness in our community is something that we can't ignore. We can't ignore because
No.
it's in a sense, it's in our face. But the need is very much in our face also, and we have to do our part.
But the biggest thing that Lori's always said to me, and I've learned from her, is everybody is one paycheck away from being homeless. You never know. It could happen to you. One crisis could be the crisis that makes you homeless. So you have to have an understanding of why these people got there and how possibly you can help them.
Yes. Very important issue. So real quick, as we must take public comment. So if it's something you can't answer,
You might.
well, possibly, but make sure that we write it down so that we
Okay.
can get it to Lori. So we'll start off with Christina.
Yes, I just wanted to reiterate the date that you mentioned for the San Pedro 2026 point-in-time count will be Thursday, the 22nd at 8 p.m. So
Right.
just for the point of minutes to have that.
Very good. Thank you.
As well as the location, might as well add that, where to meet.
You have to sign.
Yeah, and that the link is there that you can go volunteer registration. You got to do a little training thing and then show up.
To what location?
Huh?
Put it in the record.
The orientation is just online.
Put the location of.
It's going to be here. And Mayor and Jocelyn's going to be the
could've just said
coordinator.
it. I mean, instead of going back and forth.
I was
Yeah.
looking for it and making sure that it was
Yeah, Jocelyn's going to be the coordinator for it, the mayor's assistant.
How short are they currently? How short are they currently for attending?
Lori said there is not a lot signed up for our area right now.
Okay.
You can
So
get
they're
on-
short.
You can get on there and sign up now. And it's really important if you're considering something like that.
Yeah,
sign
because she asked me if Ted and I were going to sign up this year. She said we really should, so we're going to.
So don't delay if that's something you would like to do.
It's January, yeah, the 22nd.
And will we?
Or, yeah, at 8 p.m.
And again, we will be using mobile phones or tablets.
Our phones, again, like we did before. I think it's pretty much the same system as before that they did.
It's going out there and actually taking count.
Right.
But you're not putting yourself in any peril.
No, you drive
Getting
around
out
and take a look,
by-
and you try and see if you count cars and count people and all that. Same as before.
Yeah. There are plenty of places where many people kind of get out of the public's eye, and the people who work for LASA and some of these other homeless organizations, they actually go into those areas in daylight. The count is in the evening, but it's still very necessary to get out there and make that count, with all the various vehicles that people are staying in or encampments that are out in the public eye and so on. So there's plenty to count, and they need all sorts of volunteers. And I'm going to tell you, speaking from personal experience, at the end of the evening, one could walk away feeling just this feeling of terrible, seeing these people out in our communities, our neighbors, our stakeholders, by the way, because they live in our neighborhoods that we represent. But you also have accomplished something that not many people will take the time to do. So there's a kind of a fullness in your heart when you leave that you did do something, to help. So really consider that. It's really an important piece to do. Sorry.
That's all right.
I've done it for a few years now. And you go and partner in teams, which is so cool,
And, I want to give a personal example of how you can kind of help somebody if you really square in on
what they're about. Ted and I kind of have adopted this homeless person that we've been helping. We've been really trying to help him and get him some of the things he needs and help him and try like a warm coat, rain gear, things like that. He's become good friends with my husband. My husband talks to him about all kinds of things, about life and all of that. He's a decent human. He just ended up in a bad spot. And, you know, and so we've been trying to help him a little bit. And that's the type of thing you just don't know. And so you can help people in different ways like that. I'm not saying everybody has to do what we're doing, but it just be aware and not judgmental.
Any other questions from around the table? Comments? Yeah, Christina.
I went to the restroom, but
Talking in the mic, please.
it could be anyone that's not it could be a stakeholder. Anyone can help do the homeless count, correct?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, 'cause
It's
I know
open.
a few
It's open to
people-
anyone in the public.
Okay. I didn't know if you people will be.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
Any other questions?
I'll send you the link.
Comments?
You can sign up.
On the audience? None?
With Maria.
Melanie, thank you.
You're welcome.
For taking this on. All right, that takes care of agenda item number 4. We've already done 5, so we're going to go down to our consent calendar. Any items that we need to remove from the consent calendar?
Two things as far as removals, A, B, and C.
Say that again.
Items A, B, and C should be removed. There are minutes in the agenda packet, but they're the wrong ones, so we need to wait to do those.
Okay.
Also, for the record, Kane Nicholas arrived at 7 p.m.
Right. Okay, so, I noticed the minutes were not completely accurate, so we're going to have to go back and take a look at them and get them updated and fixed and all that. So we're going to take consent items A, B, and C, right?
Take them out? Yes. So the only ones we'll be voting on are D, E, F, and G. Unless somebody else has any reason to pull one of those.
So I'm open for a motion to.
I'll move the motion.
I so move.
I'll move it.
Okay.
I
Adrian,
second
you move.
then.
All right, be Glenn.
Melanie, second?
Yeah.
Okay. Any comments, questions? Yes, Angela.
I have a question, and I apologize in advance if this is something I should know the answer to, but I'm curious of the status of the Jedi project going up. It's currently up through 13th Street, is that right?
It's going up to 22nd, yeah.
No, it's not going to 22nd.
Isn't it?
Well, that's what this is to support, it going up to 22nd Street. It was my understanding that it was already
Okay.
from downtown up to 13th.
Then I'm kind of behind. I thought it
Yeah,
was
it's
going up.
22nd Street. I think that's what Elise told me when I was talking to her the other day. She said that Pacific, now they'd expanded it to 22nd.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yes. Oh,
I'm
should
I'm
go back.
Kane. They expanded it to 22nd Street, right?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
think.
going to say yes.
Okay, so are we? So we're staying with it, or that was just a question to verify?
No, my question was, so what I see here is that we're making a community impact statement regarding expanding the project from 13th to 22nd Street. And my question was, does anybody have any knowledge of what's happened so far going up to 13th Street, which is what was already approved, I
Yeah,
believe? Nobody knows?
I'm not sure that planning and land use. Do we have any information on the Jedi project?
I
understand right, you're asking what has happened to date in the JEDI project. It's just launched. It's really very recent, probably 2 or 3 months ago. And the first stage is applications for funding. There's some funds. And so right now, businesses that are interested are putting in their applications, and there'll be a selection process for that.
Okay, and that's currently open to up through 13th Street?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'd have to check my notes on.
Okay, I was just kind of
on that.
curious. It's
But
been a long
there was
time.
some mistakes in the original transmittal as well when it went to the city with regard to First Street. And so part of this is a clarification motion as well.
All right, thanks, Diana.
Question for the record: the CIS states from the 110 to the 22nd Street. It doesn't say anything about 13.
When they first presented the project, it was through 13th Street.
Right,
with
and
the
I
goal
think
of
now it's
expanding
the
to
110
22nd.
freeway all the way to 22nd.
Right, which was the original intent, but originally the city wanted it to be smaller. And so this goes back to the original intent of making it the full area.
Cool, I like it. Let's do it. 22nd Street.
Go ahead.
All right. So just a question, if a landscape component is also included in the JEDI project, if they have discussed that, trees, landscaping, any of the ideas of how to improve Pacific that were part of the green plan? Nothing? Okay, thank you.
Okay, call for the vote.
This is coming out of the planning and land
Committee.
use, right? This.
Yes. That's out of committee.
I'm going to ask, are there any other concerns or questions about it? No? Are we satisfied with the language? Okay. Because I was going to suggest if there was more conversation, this is the consent calendar, and that just, but if there was more questions on it, we should pull it and talk about it under planning and land use. But if that's okay, if we're good with it, then let's move on. Okay, so we're looking at, for the consent calendar, we're pulling A, B, and C, and considering D, E, F, and G. Yes?
Considering D, F, and G.
What?
Considering D, F, and G.
For approval under the
The consent.
consent calendar items. Under agenda item 6. Yes. Okay, so we have a motion by Adrian, seconded by Melanie. Are there any other thoughts, questions, or concerns? Okay, then let's go ahead and take the vote.
Okay, for consent calendar D, E, F, and G, Christina Barbera.
Yes.
John Barbera.
Yes.
Christina Calandra.
Yes.
Vic Christensen, aye. Adrian Fernandez.
Yes.
Cynthia Gagne.
Yes.
Gwen Henry.
Yes.
April Jones.
Yes.
Melanie Albrecht.
Yes.
Kelly Miller.
Yes.
Kay Nicholas.
Yes.
Ray Regalado.
Yes.
Angela Sunder.
Yes.
And that is all.
Did you get May?
There's a budget item. There is a budget item, so
That's right.
May is not eligible. So that's the, what are we, 13 ayes.
Okay. D, E, F, and G has passed. That takes care of our consent calendar. We're going to move on to motions under agenda item number 7, Budget and Finance Committee.
Okay.
Melanie, you're up.
Alrighty. So the first item is the MER, which is on page 41 on mine. Hopefully it's on yours because mine's scrambled the pages in here in my packet.
Yes.
So we've got here Net available $25,394.96. Right now, on the budget that we didn't see on consent calendar, the budget is, let me find my paper in the other folder. Budget under unallocated is $11,792.81 is the unallocated right now. So this is not out of committee, so I'm going to need a second.
So
Or a
moved.
first and a second, I mean.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
John? You?
Second. Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. Any discussion? No? We'll call for the vote. Kane?
Aye.
John?
Yes.
Vic?
Aye.
Ray?
Yes.
Christina? Barbara?
Yes.
Adrian?
Yes.
Cynthia?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Gwen?
Yes.
Melanie, yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
And Christina?
Yes.
So the next item is the grants. So,
Mr. Chair, under the advice of the city attorney, I'd like to recuse myself from the total.
okay. So recuse.
This is for the next one?
Yes, this is number 2.
Okay.
This is the total. I'd like to recuse myself.
Why? Just step out.
He has to because he works there.
Okay. So, that being said, after much research and talking to all of the food pantries and talking to different distributions in the area, Lori and I did an extensive interview of different places that were, and that's where the list came up that we had at our events, as well as we wanted to make, with our small little $3,000 that we were able to give this year, the biggest impact that we could make for our neighborhood council. And where we found that impact was going to serve the greatest purpose was Toberman, was the big impact. So our motion tonight is to give Toberman $2,000 for a neighborhood purpose grant for their food pantry. So that's out of committee, so any discussion about that?
How much?
2,000.
Were there any other applications? Is that the entire
We
amount?
didn't open up the application. We, for
oh,
this,
okay.
it's
I
a
understand.
selection of it to give to, because it was an emergency funding for the MPGs.
Okay, thank you. And how is Toberman going to use the money?
Huh?
How is Toberman going to use the money? Just for the record.
They will use it to fill their pantry, fill their refrigerator, fill their freezer, that they serve a large portion of the community that is in need right now. They are feeding several federal employees. When SNAP was cut, they were feeding several SNAP recipients that weren't getting food. There are a lot of low-income families that they help survive month to month with food. They help a lot of low-income families with even beauty supplies, feminine hygiene products, all the necessities, toilet paper, toothpaste, hygiene items, all of that. Just because they live in a home doesn't mean that they are barely surviving. And so this helps them make a couple inches past just surviving that paycheck to pay that rent. Some people are paying rent, and that's all they can do. They can't feed themselves. And that's where Toberman comes in.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, call for the vote. Kane.
Aye.
John.
Yes.
Victor.
Aye.
Ray.
Yes.
Christina Barbera.
Yes.
Cynthia.
Yes.
April.
Yes.
Gwen.
Yes.
Melanie, yes. Kelly.
Yes.
Angela.
Yes.
And Christina Calandra.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the next one, the
Let's get Adrian back in.
Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
Not yet.
Oh, I think now there's a door right there. I think now there's a door right there. What should you do with these? Like, turn this up right there. Real quick. I was like, wait, what?
That's okay. Take your time.
We're holding up the.
Yeah. Really? You know, we got all night.
So the next one is for the YWCA. And the YWCA, they have a pantry also. They do it only on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And they serve a smaller community, but they have an actual physical pantry. And they deliver, they have food distribution locations that they set up. So what they're needing is help with the gas and supplies and stuff to get things from point A to point B. So this money will help them to do that. And that's why we decided to give Toberman $2,000 and $1,000 for this one. So again, this is out of committee, and this is $1,000 for a YWCA of Harbor area. Any discussion?
With the opportunities, are they going specifically to Northwest San Pedro, or is it throughout San Pedro?
It's a specific location that they distribute at that's known where to go, and it's open to everybody in the harbor area to go there and get the food. So all of San Pedro and stuff. People know that they distribute it on Tuesdays from this, it's like 11 to 2, I think it is, and Thursdays from 11 to a specific couple of locations in Pedro. And they go there, and they know to line up with their cars, and they pick up their boxes of food.
Do we add that to our website so that people in the know?
I think it's in that list that we were given out at when we were giving it out, the little sheet of paper at our events. I think it's on there.
I brought it there.
Yeah,
Something.
it's on that sheet.
Could we put it on our website for those that access our website?
I guess we probably could put the list on our website, couldn't we?
The list.
The food necessities list.
It has like 4 or 5 different places you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, we could do that.
Community resource.
Yeah,
It could be.
it's a resource. We can put it up there. We'll have Cheryl just put it up there on our website so people can find it. That's a good idea.
I just need a commitment as to who's going to follow through on that.
I'll get it to her. I'll scan it in and do it.
And
I'll grab
so
one
that she-
tonight.
Okay.
If it's possible to put the fire information as
Because I'm
well.
going to email her about my stuff not being in the agenda packet. So anyway, so
if you could also see if the recent announcements on the holiday, cautionary fire announcements, candles, trees, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That could also be distributed.
we probably need to. Does he have the flyer over there for it?
That's a separate issue.
That's a separate issue. So the discussion on this is, are we done discussing YWCA? Okay, so let's call for the vote. Kane?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Victor?
Aye.
Ray?
Yes.
Christina Barbera?
Yes.
Cynthia?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Gwen?
Yes.
Melanie, yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
And Christina?
Yes.
Adrian?
There, huh?
Adrian?
Oh, Adrian. You were out of here already. Okay, yeah.
At least she didn't call you Lonzo.
So make
The next item is, how is it listed here? The next item is, I'm going to move down to 5 first, and then we'll do the CIS. Number 5 is, and for the love of God, I gave her all this stuff. She didn't put the budget in here either for the movie. So the movie on the agenda is $800. But at Budget and Finance, we went and added everything up that's on the website.
That's true.
When I went looking about how much popcorn is now for Propolis and how much it is for the movie to get the license. And so the motion at Budget and Finance was for $900. So the motion is going to be for $900 for the movie, allocated for a movie in March to be held here at Peck Park.
Do we have the additional 100?
Yes, we do. So, because it says something different on the agenda, I'm just going to have it as a motion again in a second.
So moved.
we need to do an amendment and then
So moved for the amendment.
as amended.
Okay, so I make an amendment to the agenda item to be $900 instead of $800. Do I have a second? Okay, Adrian, second. So do I do roll call or do we just?
Well, no, it's an amendment. You have to have
You do
discussion.
roll call on the amendment and then
Okay.
roll
This is
call
the
as
amendment
amended.
already. So the amendment will roll call. So
You need to have discussion.
any discussion?
Okay, is that to the penny or are you giving some allotment?
It's like a $50
Not to
grace.
exceed. Not to
$50
exceed.
grace.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Just to clarify, let you guys know, the stuff went up. Things went up.
Went from $61 to $84.
And they could go up again by March. So hopefully that $50 will be grace as well. What do you think?
It's pretty much the same. The movie's going to stay the same. Angela,
The movie's
right?
going to stay the same. It's just the
The
popcorn
movie should
stuff.
stay the same. Yeah.
So after talking to Michael,
Hang on, Mel. Go in.
Oh, I was just going to say,
We're
another
talking about
option we
popcorn.
could always consider is less expensive popcorn. I mean, I think people like the Popcornopolis, but that's just something else we could do. Just get like Costco popcorn.
so here's the budget that didn't show up in the thing. The movie licensing is $475. Propolis individual popcorn cones, the box of 40 for 4 boxes, that's $160 for the movie, is $86.27 each, which is $345.08. So the total for the that it was going to cost is $820.08. So $900 would give us a buffer of a little under $80.
And that's just in case it does go up another buck or something.
Sounds good. Angela?
I've done a lot of the movie nights. I think 160 popcorns is probably more than we need. We usually have a lot left over, and that's for a summer movie.
That's where I was headed. Michael said that 160 would be more than enough.
Yeah. We usually have extra. We've been giving it away at the Christmas party from a summer movie. I don't know when the expiration date is, but that would be something else to consider when you decide how much popcorn to buy is how long is it good for.
Yeah. Vic?
And this is not just allocation, this is approving the use of it at this point?
Approving the use of it, yes.
Okay.
We don't override references.
Christina?
You guys had mentioned March, but on the agenda, it says February 7th.
It can't happen, and I told them that. It cannot happen. Even though as much as they'd like it to happen that date, they did not vote on the movie at Outreach Committee meeting. And so because they don't have a movie and because they don't have an invoice, the rules are it has to be submitted 30 days in advance of the event to get approved from the city clerk's office. And if it doesn't happen, then sorry. It has to be moved to a different date, unfortunately. And it's very unfortunate, and they're going to be dark in December. They aren't having their meeting in December. So that moves it to the end of January before they meet and then it has to come to the board.
As a February baby, where rain is usually in the forecast in February, March is probably a better time to consider this.
Well, we're going to do it in here. We're going to use the auditorium.
Yeah.
I already made arrangements with Deborah and Michael. They'll lay down the mats for the kids to sit up here, screens right there, and that way we didn't have to worry about damp grass or this or
March rains too.
Yeah. And then they have the machine. They have
My
a
birthday always
Blu-ray
gets
here.
rained on.
And speakers are right there, so.
So given that the February date is not going to happen, we need to amend this either to remove the date or give a not later than time frame, or if they know what date it is, change it to the date.
Yeah.
So do we know what date it's going to
Do you know
be,
the
or?
No, not really.
Not later than April then.
Yeah, it's not going to go. It'll be in March, but
Well, just to give a little buffer, say not later than April, like.
Right.
So
Okay.
amendment is not later than April and $900.
We're on discussion for something else. We can't discuss that at the moment. We're on motion for the amount.
What?
We're on the motion for the amount, and we can talk about the date later, but right now we are on.
No,
the
we
motion.
have to, because the date was mentioned on the agenda, we have to say not later than April.
This is process.
Actually, Gwen is right.
What?
We're only talking about a motion to adjust the amount.
Right.
So that's what we're doing right now. Then
We are
then
voting
we
for
will
that.
have to go to another motion with change of date.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Okay. So
You
call
can't
for
do
the
both
vote.
at the same?
Well, we haven't voted on this one. I don't see why we can't just augment it and do it all at the same
You
time.
can do that, but that's not what we've heard so far, so someone needs to go ahead.
Okay, I move that we,
We're still on the motion for the amount 800 to 900. Let's just vote on it quickly. Call for the motion. Question.
Okay, so a motion to move.
Oh, I missed that.
So I need someone to second this.
Second.
Kane. Alrighty, so we'll vote on this now.
okay,
So
hang on.
900, right?
go ahead.
You made the motion to change the amount. Adrian already seconded.
Oh, Adrian already seconded? Okay.
Then we went to discussion, and then we got to
And then we got to.
into the discussion of the date and stuff, so.
Can I just get a clarification? What we are voting on right now is just the money.
Correct.
Just for
Yeah, the
Yes.
change. Okay.
That's,
So-
I was going to say it if you didn't.
So, Kane.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Vic.
Aye.
Ray.
Yes.
Christina Barbera.
Yes.
Adrian.
Yes.
Cynthia. April.
Yes.
Gwen.
Yes.
Melanie, yes. Kelly.
Yes.
Angela.
Yes.
And Christina Calendra.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a
So,
motion to change
now it's
the-
$900.
Hang on. Okay, so
Now,
make your statement that what we've just voted on.
so we just voted on to change the allocation for the movie night to $900 instead of $800.
Okay.
So now the new motion is to amend the date that is on the agenda. That amendment is going to be
to change it to no later than April 1, 2025.
So moved. Need a second?
Second.
Is that
Kane, second. April 2026.
Discussion.
Who was second?
Kane.
Is that because
Kane was second, Gwen was moved.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Discussion? Okay.
You said that Youth and Outreach is not meeting next month. We're meeting on December
No,
22nd.
you guys, I was told by Chris and John it's dark.
It was literally on our agenda, and it's in
Yeah,
minutes.
they said that they're having no meeting. Chris even reestablished it when we were at the parade yesterday. He told me there was no meeting in December.
is it Christmas?
Huh?
Is it Christmas?
Because for outreach, you guys aren't meeting in December.
Because it's Wednesday is Christmas Eve, so.
Right, but the
we
minutes
don't-
were taken directly from the agenda. Like, it was on the agenda that we're meeting December 22nd.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's, and they said that initially at Budget and Finance meeting. Chris had told me that in text. And then he said it too. And I'm like, well, how do you guys expect to do this in February? You
Can I say that this doesn't affect the date that we're getting? It's an outside date. So if you guys want to discuss when the meeting happens, you can do that outside. We're
No,
just
because
making the change of
it's
April.
very important, Gwen, because of the city clerk's policy of the 30 days in advance to submit for an event. This is our event, and so it has to be 30 days. There's no wiggle, there's no wink, wink, there's no give. It is
Now-
set in stone.
Now, all I'm saying is it doesn't change the amendment to April. Can we vote on the April thing and
It
discuss?
It could, if the paperwork isn't in time and they don't have their meeting, because they have to vote on the movie and get the invoice from Swank.
So we're getting kind of off the rails here because we don't know what's happening in the future. All we're doing is adjusting the date time. If it doesn't happen, then we change.
Thank you. It's
Plain and
outside.
simple. So we're just going to go ahead with the April date. That's all we're doing.
Yes, thank you. Still down on the reading.
So, any further discussion or call for the vote?
Call for the vote.
Kane?
Aye.
John?
Yes.
Victor?
Aye.
Ray?
Yes.
Christina Barbera?
Yes.
Adrian?
Yes.
Cynthia?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Gwen?
Yes.
Melanie? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
Christina?
Yes.
Okay. So, that is amendment that the movie will be held no later than April 1st, 2026. So that's that one. Now,
it's not.
Oh, no, it's not.
We have
We've
to
got to
vote.
vote
We
on the
have to
whole
vote
thing.
on the new-
So the whole thing, God.
So moved.
So now the whole thing is for $900 for the movie no later than April 1st, 2026.
So moved. Gwen.
So that now, because it's changed, I need a move and a motion and a second.
Second. Oh, wait.
Gwen move, John second. Discussion. Any? None. Okay. Kane.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Vic.
Aye.
Ray.
Yes.
Christina Barbera.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Adrian.
Absolutely.
Cynthia.
Yes.
April.
Yes.
Gwen.
Yes.
Melanie. Yes. Kelly.
Yes.
Angela.
Yes.
Christina Calandra.
Yes.
Done. Oh, God.
Whatever.
Oh. So, now. The next is the CIS. And that is, the motion is in here, pasted in between, in mine, in between an MPG. Let's see. Yeah. It's
Page 46 and 47 for us.
Huh?
Page 46 and 47. for the-
Mine's on 46 here. And then the, let's see, and the, and 47, yeah, is the file. So basically, what we did is support it, and basically we agreed to make policies less burdensome on landlords in the city's current program, including due to the more streamlined application process, appropriate program guidelines, greater work with RAC to update the existing RAC guidelines governing. So yeah. Any discussion?
What's RAC? Probably should be defined in there.
Huh?
The letter does not, or the CIS does not define RAC, so that should be defined.
It doesn't what?
RAC in the text is not defined. What does RAC stand for?
It is.
It needs to be defined in the words.
Rent Adjustment Commission.
Rent adjustment commitment, yeah.
Commission.
Commission.
So all you do is you put work
See,
with rent.
Just spell it. Just spell it out in the text. Put RAC in parentheses, and you're done.
Okay.
First time mentioned.
Excuse me.
Okay. What?
The motion is only saying that for saying 2 reports. I
Right,
don't
and
see-
we're supporting that what they want to do. It's just put in there that we're supporting what they're asking.
Well,
to
we're
be
making
done,
an
the
opinion.
report.
We're making an opinion before the reports are. Is that what's happening?
What they
here?
moved, we're putting in there what they moved to be done, and that's what our CIS is agreeing that needs to be done.
What the motion is from the city is to instruct Los Angeles Housing Department to report back within 15 days to work with the Rent Adjustment Commission and so on. And this motion that we're passing is supporting that from the city
Is
council.
page 47 the letter that is going along with this?
No.
Okay. The letter is not.
This is not a letter. This is a CIS, page 47. It's not a letter. It's a CIS. It's just on letterhead.
2513. What is this?
This is a CIS.
Okay.
It makes
We're not
reference-
voting on the letter.
It's not a letter.
It is not a letter. It is a.
It's on official letterhead for the CIS.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So should it have been on letterhead?
It should be when we submit it, when it's an attachment on the CIS.
Okay, so I see that's where the confusion is.
It's just saying you're supporting it.
What?
Yeah, just the format with the.
It's a
with the-
format for a CIS. Most of the neighborhood councils use this format to do their CISs to know that it's been voted on and that the president has signed it.
Or will sign it.
Huh?
Or will sign it.
Yes.
Yes. And the vote count, I added into the bottom of it too, after when I submit it. So, any further discussion? Can we vote on this?
Please do. Gwen, just for your information, this is what we have been doing for years in this manner.
I understand, but.
Okay. Thank you. Can we move on?
So, calling for the vote. Kane?
Aye.
John Barbera?
Yeah.
Victor?
Aye.
Ray?
Yes.
Christina?
Yes.
Adrian?
Yes.
Cynthia?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Gwen? Melanie, yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
And May? You can vote on this.
Yes.
And Christina Calandra?
Yes.
There. Done.
Okay, we're through with that motion for Budget and Finance. We are now moving to Bylaws and Elections Committee, and that will be handled by Adrian Fernandez.
I'll be over here because I can't see everyone.
You're absolutely free to do it from any position you choose.
From any spot.
Oh, a spot
any
then.
position,
Okay,
not any
spot.
position.
Okay.
Ay,
Well, I meant
ay, ay.
location. I should have said location.
Yes, location.
I'm sorry.
Location.
I'll take anything.
That's where we get along.
All right. Hello, folks. Hello.
Okay, let's get it going. We're running
okay.
late.
Hello, my name is Adrian. I'm the chair of the Bylaws and Elections. Bylaws and Elections. So first off, I just want to give a shout out to my committee members: John, Ray, Vic, Gwen, Lori, Cynthia. I was going to get for working on this. We spent 2 hours going through this, looking at the documents. So I just want to give such appreciation to those members for doing this.
We love you, Adrian.
Yeah, me too. So this, all the amendments are on page 5. This has been sent out twice, so I'm just going to quickly go over them, and then if there's any discussion, we'll do that. So the first one is to designate the youth rep seat to be designated in the standing rules. The second one is on board emails, strengthening our board emails, making sure that we have the correct one, making sure no one wants to impersonate you. The third one is just a grammatical change, and that's just to strike out written, just put an application. The fourth one is addressing excused absences, and that is just saying that if you're going to be excused, submit something in writing within 24 hours. But if you don't, the excuse will be at the discretion of the president. Where am I here? Yes.
I just want to highlight
Yes.
a clear understanding that this is 24 hours prior to the meeting,
Correct.
not 24 hours, say, after it. It's prior to the meeting, so that we take that.
Thank you.
If not, it's a no-show.
So then moving to the next one, it is changing the requirement days to complete your training. So right now it's currently 60. We're changing it to 45. We would like to change it to 45. And the next one is, let's say you have issues technologically, then, or whatever issue you have, at the consent of the executive board, you'll get 15 more days. Additionally, we also are changing to where previously, if you didn't have your training, you had to go sit outside or sit on the table. We just changed and saying that you're able to participate, you'll just be considered ineligible to vote instead of having to go outside at the playground or whatever. And then the next one and the last one is just another grammatical change, just fixing it to say that you'll just be ineligible to vote. So with that, is there any discussion?
No.
Gwen. Oh, Angela.
It's just a real simple question.
Yes.
So the 24 hours in advance, otherwise it's up to the discretion of the president. I'm assuming the last minute illness.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Correct. Exactly. Yes. Any other ones?
The main reason for this one is we had a definition for an unexcused absence. We did not have an explicit definition for an excused absence, so this just matches them up. So, it explains both sides.
Okay. Any other discussion on?
Are we going to look at these individually or all combined?
I was going to do it all combined.
Okay.
Because I mean, that's what it says on the agenda. It doesn't. If it was individually, it would have put it on the agenda individually.
Well, we can.
whatever
We
the chair
can do
wants
it
to
either.
do.
We can do it either way.
I know, but
It's just a brief agenda wording that covers all of it. So it doesn't. For that, it doesn't matter.
I will defer to the.
There's also the editorial changes throughout.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Not just the 7 major changes.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. If you continue on, page 7 through 19 are just little grammatical changes, putting a period, capitalizing letters, little minor things like that as well.
Actually, regarding those minor things, I did notice that youth representative seat is all capitalized, and then the removal of the capitalization is on everything else. It's going to be one or the other. Would somebody, if they're going to be that technical with
Where
that,
are you
which one is
referring
it?
to? Because the youth representative seat is the official title. That is the formal title, therefore it should be capitalized.
And president is not an official title?
Not when used the way that it is here. For example, if you were to say President of the United States, that would be capitalized. If you were to say the United States President, President would not be capitalized because it isn't the formal title. Now, given that, if it's clear for somebody to understand the office names capitalized, then clarity overrides, a lot of things. So we could just revert those back to caps. But grammatically, they should be lowercase.
And I assume that NWSPNC is well understood as the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council, but I do notice that it being written out, other things being written out instead of NWSPNC had been changed. So is it abbreviation or not an abbreviation?
The first time it's used, it should be spelled out and then the abbreviation in parentheses. Thereafter, it should be just the abbreviation. If it is someplace that does not match that, then I might have missed it. And if it also is someplace where you think it needs to be spelled out for clarity, we can do that too.
Well, it actually needs to be in Article 2. And it has to be all spelled out and then in parentheses NWSPNC.
No, because it's in Article 1.
It's in Article 1.
It's in Article 1. It's okay.
Yeah, because that's the first time it's mentioned.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It's in Article 1, and it's probably also in the title.
I missed it in the Article 1 at the end. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? But hold on, I want to go back to Secretary Christensen's comments on voting it either individually or at once. I know we're in a time constraint, but Ray, how would you like to?
I'm sorry.
Can't we just vote it all at once?
Yeah.
On how do you want to vote on the do you want to vote on them as consent or individually?
I would prefer if we can vote it all, but if people have a problem with something individually, they can't be just corrected like a spelling or.
So could we do it as consent, and if someone wants to pull something?
I do want to pull something, and that would be the Article 14, Section 2 items. I did want to have a discussion on that.
Okay. So are we all okay with that? Okay. 14,
All
Section 2.
of them, or just one in particular?
The two, it's.
Or actually, there are
It's
3.
It's hard to.
What page are you looking at?
Page 25.
Page
Do you
what?
have the summary?
Page what?
Do you have the summary?
Yes.
Okay, which items in the summary?
This section right here.
All 3 of them, or the first 2, or what?
Just the first 2.
What page are you looking at? Because I'm looking at it on page 25. Which page?
The summary sheet. That should be the first thing there.
Thank you.
That'll help you. That just gets the first, or the major wording, and then you can find it too.
So where is?
So you're talking about the one from where I'm the point of contact, and the other one that Adrian's the point of contact. That are right?
Yes, the article the first mention of Article 14, Section 2, Vic Christensen, and then the second one where it's Adrian Fernandez.
Article 14, Section 2, in the middle of page 5, ignore the one, the typo one that Adrian.
Well, it's not typo, but okay. So just those two, not the third one.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so just clarification, we're going to vote on all of these as consent, just without the Article 14, Section 2, Vic Christensen, Adrian Fernandez, correct? And that one's addressing the training.
Correct.
Okay, are we all clear on that? Bueno. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know why.
Okay.
Why
Good
are we
question.
doing? Why do we have to keep that separate from doing the whole thing?
Because I want to have discussion on that.
Well, then let's do the discussion now and then vote on everything instead of going through everything.
So this is consent, so we have to take it out.
Yeah.
So we've
You can't.
taken it out right now.
Take it out of the consent. Take it out of the consent calendar.
So let's go ahead and, if we can get consensus on everything other than those two sections, then let's just do that, and then we'll
Okay.
focus on those two.
So as of right now, we're going to be voting on these ones. I'm going to go through them again on which one we're voting on.
No, we know it.
We know which ones?
Yeah.
You've read it.
Everything is
Okay,
at 14.
I know.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Me too. Okay, so then could we go to a vote then if it seems like we all know what we're voting on?
Okay, and just for clarification, this is including all the editorial changes as
Correct.
well as the substantive ones.
Yes.
Okay, Christina Barbera,
Yes.
John Barbera,
Yes.
Christina Calandra,
Yes.
Vic Christensen, I, May Cordera Herrera, there we go,
Yes.
Adrian Fernandez,
Yes.
Cynthia Gagne,
Yes.
Gwen Henry,
Yes.
April Jones,
Yes.
Melanie LeBrecq,
Yes.
Kelly Miller,
Yes.
Kane Nicholas,
Yes.
Ray Regalado,
Yes?
Angela Sumner.
Yes.
Okay, that's 14.
Okay, now we're back. So since they were taken out, they have to be done individually. They have to be voted on individually. So we're now to the first one that was taken out, Vic Christensen, Article 2, Section 2, a board member not completing required training within 45 calendar days. We're on that one right now. Any discussion on that?
Yes.
Okay.
So it wasn't until later that I became concerned about the brevity of 45 calendar days without an additional affirmation of some type from this board, because there has been times where there may be multiple components that the person has to complete, and maybe they miss one. Because of that, I would like to consider the idea that the secretary communicate before the next meeting at some point where they affirm with that board member that there might be a particular component that they have missed, whether it's all of them or one. So very much like the amendment that we already approved regarding an excused absence and the communication that a board member has to do, I'd like to replicate that conversation with a board member not completing required training within 45 calendar days. I'd like to propose that something of this, that an email, a phone call, or digital text message communicated by the board elected secretary listing the required trainings not yet completed be directed to the board member 15, and in parentheses, 15 days prior to the expiration of the 45, parentheses 45, calendar day deadline.
Okay. Okay. I think we have Daniel over here, or
No.
MJ, who has...
You're a big girl. You're supposed to take care of
Damn it.
Stop.
So, good evening, everyone. Daniel Johnson. I'm the Neighborhood Empowerment Advocate for Northwest San Pedro. In regards to your training, I just want to be clear that the Code of Conduct training is mandated to be within 30 days, right? So, the Code of Conduct is the only training per the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners policy that will allow folks to be removed or suspended from the board in not completion of 30 days. The 45-day grace period is the department's support of all neighborhood councils in regards to supporting new board members who may have not been a part of the neighborhood council system with completing their trainings. All members on the board, new, old, or sooner or later, or on the committee, have the same access to all staff members in the department, which is the empowerla.org website. Our department does send reminders in regards to the code of conduct training. NEAs, to the best of our capacity at times, will send reminders. However, all board members, again, have the same access to go to empowerla.org and visit Northwest San Pedro's Neighborhood Council's page and view if they're missing training or not. It is at the discretion of the board members and or the secretary or whoever the power may be to support with notifications. However, those notifications are unlikely something that will be, I want to say, on a reoccurring basis. 17 people on the board, 15 days in advance of an expiration date is not realistic for me, having 13 boards at this point. However, to the best of my capacity and or others on the board, they can remind someone. I will lastly say, in support of the board and reminders, as long as I'm asked or we're asked in the department, we can offer that support. Why are you looking at me like that? But it is also at the discretion of the board to try to support in the best way they can, meaning all that to say is at the individual's point of trying to find out what trainings they are missing and at the same time communicate to the president if there's some discretion. And then finally, I'll wrap up by saying there was an example I had received today, a call from Central San Pedro Neighborhood Council. It's been a while for some folks to actually get their code of conduct. They finally reached out and shared the discrepancies they've been having. And so, case-by-case basis, I'm able to take my laptop and support the best way I can. And so I just wanted to share that with you all. Just to share that again, 30 days is the only, the code of conduct is the only training that will possibly remove a board member. However, the extended day period is at the discretion of the board. Nonetheless, to say all trainings must be completed in order for you to vote, regardless if you didn't complete the training within 45 days or not. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear, just in case, new board members, returning board members at a later date come back on. That grace period is there for you all to support. However, you still cannot vote within that 45 days until you complete your training. So,
which is what it
any
says.
questions?
Which is what it says. Yeah,
sometimes it gets a little.
Just for clarification, if the grace period for the code of conduct is 30 days, for the others, it can be 45. Okay.
Okay. So I didn't hear a second to that amendment, Gwen. You wanted to add.
Well, what it was because with that, Daniel has just said that it will be very difficult for him to help affirm those reminders. So it really is probably a good thing if our secretary, by the executive board meeting, communicates with the board members one more time saying, did you know that you don't have this?
And I believe that's something probably administratively that can be bestowed upon the executive committee, and I don't think it has to be in the bylaws, is my opinion.
Okay, well, because we did have a problem with that kind of duty being debated in one way or another, whether it should be done or not. So because we have something where there's a grace period at the discretion of the executive committee, perhaps there could also be.
No, we're still on. No, we're not on that one. We're on.
No, I understand, but
okay.
I'm using it as an example of wording, and why I'm saying this, that with that 45-day deadline, if again
there could be a possible grace of a communication from somebody on the executive board committee or the secretary or someone to say, did you know?
Yeah, no, and I mean, I think that's something, again, that's administratively. But as chair of the bylaws, I could work with Secretary Christensen on that, if that works.
So it doesn't need to necessarily
No,
be in
it doesn't have to be in here.
Okay, thank you.
So, any discussion on Vic Christensen, Article 14, Section 2, 45-day training?
Nope.
Call for the vote. Or it was taken out, so do I have to move it?
Well, I'm wondering
if there's any more.
It seemed to me that there was that second section you wanted to talk about.
No.
Well, it was all in component. It was this in relation to that entire section of those two.
So you're
amendments.
satisfied with you're satisfied that we have covered that second section under Adrian's.
Yes, if Adrian is saying that that a communication, unlike a communication from the board member to notify somebody within 24 hours, and this other one where there's a grace period of the executive committee if a board member hadn't completed it within a certain time period. If this is different and a communication to the secretary, from the secretary notifying the board member is different and shouldn't be in there, then yeah, then it's satisfied.
Now you got that song in my head.
Okay.
Do you guys agree that there should be something in there that says the secretary should give everybody a heads up if he didn't quite complete your training?
You want my honest opinion?
First of all, we don't even have a second to be discussing it.
Let's hang on. Let's hang on. There was two items that were brought up. I want to make sure that you covered both items that you were concerned about. And now, clarity that you're asking, paraphrasing, you're asking for notification by someone in the executive committee to let an individual know that their training is coming up or they need to be trained and so on. Is that what you're saying? Asking?
A notification that the next meeting they will be ineligible unless they complete it.
So can I just give a recommendation? I mean, I hear what you're saying. I just don't simply agree that should be in the bylaws. We could maybe possibly, because we haven't done the standing rules yet, right?
It's true.
So if possible, we could look at maybe putting that in standing rules. Because after this has to go to Dunn, and Dunn has to do all that. The standing rules are more easier to change or whatever. So if we want to go that route, when we go bylaws and elections looks at the standing rules, we can probably look at that as well. But I mean, I would just oppose to putting that sort of language in the bylaws.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion. So,
sounds good.
Any other discussion on Vic Christensen Article 14, Section 2?
No.
Ms. LeBrac?
If we have an imperial lay that tells everybody, your training expires this date, it is due this date, it's due this date, you can go right up there at Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council and it says it, we all should be able to do that for ourselves.
Yeah. Any other comment?
Here.
Okay, so now we are voting on Vic Christensen Article 14, Section 2, a board member not completing required training within 45 calendar days. That is what we will be voting on right now.
Okay. Christina Barbera.
Yes.
John Barbera.
Yes.
Christina Calandra.
Yes.
Vic Christensen, aye. Maybe. Cordero Herrera.
Yes.
Adrian Fernandez.
Yes.
Cynthia Gagne.
Yes.
Gwen Henry.
Yes.
April Jones.
Yes.
Melanie LeBrecq.
Yes.
Kelly Miller.
Yes.
Kane Nicholas.
Yes.
Ray Regalado.
Yes.
Angela Sumner.
Yes.
Okay, it's 14 ayes.
Okay, all right. Now the next one. We'll be voting on Adrian Fernandez, Article 14, Section 2. With this amendment, we'll be following the last one with a possible 15-day grace period approved at the discretion of the executive committee after being seated or after the expiration of their training shall be ineligible to vote on board action items. Board members shall complete all required training before being allowed to make motions and vote on funding related matters. Any discussion?
No.
Once again, that is about being seated at the table. That is about being seated at the table versus being kicked out.
Correct.
Thank
so,
you. Okay.
in line sight, if you're not eligible to vote, you'll still sit at the table. You'll just be, when you're doing the roll, you're just announced as ineligible. You don't have to sit at the playground or anything. So, Mr. Christensen, yes.
In my opinion, we've got 45 days, that is plenty for somebody to get their training done. If we're past that time period, that is not being responsible. And as a consequence, not only should that person not be able to vote, but they should also not be able to discuss. And I do not think that most of this wording needs to be changed. It should retain the original wording with the difference of the 60 days because we just changed it to 45. And they should lose all privileges. They should not be counted as quorum. They should not be discussing or voting. After 45 days, which they should be looking at that webpage that multiple people have mentioned, to know when their training is, to get out there, do their training so they're, in compliance. And, I would say you've got an additional 15 days before the expiration that is, a good time to start. So you kind of have the 60 days from that point to the 45-day post, but at least that 45 days, that's a month and a half. That is plenty of time to do your training. So I don't think that any of this wording needs to be changed except for the number of days and at the end where it's all required training as opposed to only the two that were originally mentioned. That part needs to stay in there because now it's everything, not just two.
Well, yeah, I just think it's a difference of opinion. I just don't think that whatever circumstances of the training, I just don't think you should be. If you are a board member, I don't think if you don't do your training, you have to sit over here and lose all voting rights. It's just considered ineligible.
The logic behind that is so that it's not confusing to people who is eligible to vote and discuss and who isn't. If you're not eligible to vote, discuss, and not counted for quorum, then you really shouldn't be up here at the table confusing people of how many, who is and who isn't.
Well, that is why when you're going through the roll and someone is not eligible, it is why you put in the record ineligible. That's where I believe. I don't think to.
So essentially, you're going to have somebody sitting at the table ineligible, not being able to talk at all.
No,
because in my view, the wording that we have here.
Just turn this thing down.
Mr. President, it's okay. I'll speak. Daniel Johnson again. So, just in terms of the conversation I had, just wanted to be clear. Code of conduct is the only one that will suspend someone if they don't complete it. However, if they do complete the code of conduct and no other training, they do count towards quorum. They're just not eligible to vote. So I just wanted to make sure that was very much clear in the discussion, because once again, code of conduct is the only one that can suspend somebody for not completing it within the first 30 days. So if they complete the code of conduct and they say, I ain't doing no more of these trainings, right, they still count towards quorum. They just are ineligible to vote. Remember, you have to have all trainings completed in order to vote. In order to count towards quorum, you just have to have the code of conduct.
Okay. So, did the part towards quorum policy change because in 2022 we amended to say that, and it was approved through Dunn. So did the rules change on whether somebody can be counted for quorum or not based on their training?
It's always been a part of the amended code of conduct that was set forth.
No, I don't mean for code of conduct. I mean for all of it.
Well, no, it's when we think code of conduct, maybe the language was messed up, the previous NEA, but when it comes to the code of conduct, you want to follow the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners code of conduct policy.
I understand the code of conduct. I'm talking about any training, not just code of conduct.
I can send the email because that will be easier, and they've been sending reminder emails of why and when that actually took effect. That actually took effect about, I would say, around the same time. Could be 2021, could be 2023.
Okay,
So
let me get more to the point instead of kind of this circuitous questioning.
I'm trying to understand.
If we were to leave the wording that says if somebody's training is expired for a period of time, in our case we're saying 45 calendar days, any of the training, not just code of conduct, it could be any one of the trainings, is it now authorized to say that they are no longer able to be counted for quorum, or is that totally gone now?
No, I appreciate the clarity. Again, that would be inaccurate if they have completed the code of conduct, because that is one training in particular which will make that person either suspended or able to count towards quorum.
So if they completed the code of conduct, but they haven't completed the one of the others,
Yeah, they still count towards quorum. They can still remain and speak on action on items.
and there's no way to get around that.
No, they just can't vote. Technically that's the way around it.
Okay,
They just can't vote.
Okay,
They can't
so
discuss and they can't vote.
so what we had in there before is now OBE and can't go back anyway, because from 22. Sorry, in 2022, we amended it to say that if they had any one of their trainings expired, then they were not counted for quorum. That is no longer allowed, correct?
So I was saying, that's no longer allowed. I think that was a mistake at that point. But that's why I keep putting emphasis on the board and neighborhood commissioner's code of conduct policy, because your bylaws essentially can't overpower that.
Okay, so this kind of slipped through the cracks then when it went up to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by all means, you didn't do anything wrong. This section is very critical to all neighborhood councils, and that's the alignment that we're trying to give folks. And the alignment with all 99 NCs is take a look at this section again, provide a grace period, but just know that the code of conduct is still 30 days. And so that's where your 60 is better off dropped to 45, because it's closer to the kind of the code of conduct. It almost aligns with it a little bit. Which, so to speak, you kind of give a grace period with the code of conduct, not essentially, but you kind of do with 15 days, right? Because by 45 days, if they don't have any of their trainings completed, then you already know how to move forward. So again, if you all missed the 30 days as well, the department seems to figure out to support the neighborhood council and sending those 30-day notifications out, because I don't want to say it that way. If the person can't do it in the 30 days, we do our best to support you all. But when those 30 days are up, it's still up to the board to figure out how they would like to move forward with that individual, whether it's censure removal or whatever the case the policy is. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
In that case, the only change I would disagree with is the 15-day grace period at the discretion of the executive committee, because after 45 days, that's plenty of time. There's no need for an additional 15.
Okay. Any other discussion?
No.
Hearing none, can we go to a vote?
Yes. So are we voting on the current wording?
Yes.
Okay. Christina Barbera.
Yes.
John Barbera.
Yes.
Christina Calandra.
Yes.
Dick Christensen, no. May Cordero Herrera.
Yes.
Adrian Fernandez.
Yes.
Cynthia Gagne.
Abstain.
Gwen Henry.
Yes.
April Jones.
I'm a little confused, so I'm going to say abstain.
Oh, abstain. Okay. Melanie Lebrecht.
Yes.
Kelly Miller.
Yes.
Kay Nicholas.
Yes.
Ray Regalado.
Yes.
Angela Sumner.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 11 ayes, 1 nay, 2 abstentions.
And okay, thank you. And that is it.
Thank you.
I just want to commend Adrian's work on this, because this was not an easy thing to do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. President's meeting with the port, we're down to number 8, and no port meeting, so nothing to report. Committee reports, number 9, executive committee. Just to let you know real quick, because we're getting close to it being a very long night. 3 things that we have been sort of working through in our community. A, the biggest one that affects us in Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council is the closure of Phillips 66. It is going to be a major, major change in what Northwest is going to be looking at when Phillips 66 completely stops their refining and starts moving to an industrial complex.
Yeah.
That industrial complex is going to be, as they say today, mostly warehouses. And what those warehouses look like, I have no idea.
The traffic.
But the place where it's going to change a lot is going to be on Anaheim, and on Anaheim, which is more of an area for Wilmington. They're going to be doing a lot of retail, a lot of stuff like that, where that Anaheim is really looking forward to, and I don't blame them because they're getting a lot of stores and retail things that they have not seen in their community at all. For us in Northwest, the way I see it in the drawings is that there are going to be warehouses, and chances are we might be seeing concrete walls of warehouse buildings facing us, and according to the plans, with very nice looking murals or color schemes and things like that. I'll be honest with you, I've been pushing Phillips 66 to make a green space so that we don't have to see that stuff, because it's going to be the whole route on Gaffey. Wow. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that's what we're looking for. That's what we want. And the other big thing, which is kind of a victory for Northwest, is the closure of Rancho LPG.
Yep.
We have been working toward that. As Diana had indicated earlier, we have been working to get that location closed for a very long time because of the product that they are loading and offloading. And that's propane and butane. And it's probably the most explosive chemical or fuel product that's out there. We've had scientists that tells us the explosive impact center is a whole lot more than the impact that one of those tanks would do, according to them. I think, if I remember correctly, they say 3/4 of a mile, which is still a lot. But our scientists, going back, I believe, said that it was as far away as 5 miles.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, I've heard 3.
No, it's 5 miles.
It was 5.
And it can still go up and over the hill. It can
That's
go all
right.
the way to PG.
So so that's going. Now, what are they going to do with that property? Honestly, I'll share with you. I'm kind of advocating for green space
They
for
want to do a
us,
parking lot.
for our community, because that's what's going to be closest. I don't really want to see a big parking lot there instead. It doesn't do us any good as a community. Green space does it. So anyway, a lot more to come. There's just starting out that area, but I think we need to be consistent on what we're looking at. I saw your hand, but just let me go back to the other 2 areas that are very much will impact us, and that is the Vincent Thomas Bridge. When they shut that place down for redecking, it's going to be they anticipate 16 months. But here's something that I think we need to also be aware of, and that's the fact that prior to the redecking of that bridge, they're going to cover that bridge in scaffolding so that they can gain access to the bridge, the workers and things like that, including elevators for the workers. That's going to be about another year's worth of work pre and post construction. So it's going to be shutting down that bridge for a very long time periodically, but during the redecking process, it will close it down for the anticipated at least 16 months.
Plus 2 years?
16 months is not quite 2 years, but I mean,
The wrapping was.
but doing everything else, you're probably looking at more like 3 years.
Sheesh. Isn't Bass trying to stop it to after the Olympics?
I know there's a lot of conversations. I mean, and they were even adding an aspect of maybe what we should do is consider raising the bridge
That was
during this whole thing.
That was recently
But that's
canceled.
off the table.
They already denied that.
Right. They are no longer considering that. But, I mean, these are the types of things that get into the conversation, which also brings a certain level of confusion to the community. You hear one piece, but then there's other aspects of things that go on in that project. And then we have to kind of weed out what's feasible and what's actually going to happen. And then the last thing is that, and I see hands, but just let me get through this. The last piece is what's happening at the Scout Center. We are part of the conversation process for the Scout Center. I've been in conversation with the organizers. The presidents have been. There is an ad hoc committee that's being developed by Planning and Land Use to work on it also. But there's been a lot of conversations, but there's a lot of stuff that's still unknown about it. So that's the big thing. We need to be more informed. So that's some of the stuff I've been working on and in partnership with some of our other neighborhood councils in the community and also with Planning and Land Use in developing that task force. I want to say task force, but it's more like a committee type situation. Working group. Yeah. Okay, I saw hands, so I'll answer questions real quick, but please, let's keep the questions concise and quick. John, I think I saw your hand first.
Yeah, not a question, just Sunday, not Sunday, but Saturday over at the tree lighting. The gentleman that came and did the presentation for Phillips 66, I forgot his name. He stopped by.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stopped by and everything, was talking, and he says, we have some new stuff and everything, and I told him, oh, maybe you can come back and explain to us. And I said, we talked about, the propane tank, there for us. And I go, well, on our side of that, where the tanks and all that's at, we will get rid of all of that. And he says, yeah, well, we'd like to make it. And I told him, I says, well, look, I don't know what you want to do with it, but we would rather have no buildings, no nothing, maybe have it a dog run, make it into a park or something, but not to. And he goes, well, that's what we want to talk to people about. Yeah. So that could be that if he comes, maybe you can get a hold of him, and he'll come and update us on that, maybe in January.
Sounds good. Yeah. I saw other hands. I think I saw Christina's hand, and then Melanie, your hand.
I was just going to ask about the Vincent Thomas. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I got it.
So the Vincent Thomas Bridge, with what you're saying, that's projecting us into 2029. LA Olympics are 2028. And I spoke with Tim McCosker, and he said we definitely will have the sailing events.
Yes.
So if the bridge is closed, will the only access point be the 110?
Yeah.
Let me just say, what is planned for the construction for the Vincent Thomas Bridge should be completed before the Olympics.
No, the scaffolding.
But it's all the stuff that's before and after that may also make an impact during some of that period.
All the other projects.
We don't know because they're still mapping out what all that looks like. And, maybe we can have the Vincent Thomas, Caltrans come out and give us updates on that, because that's a Caltrans project. So, anyway, more to come on that one. Let me go ahead. I'm sorry, Kelly.
Did we get any of the environmental reports yet from Phillips 66?
No.
Because we were supposed to have that by June or July. It is now December, and we haven't gotten it.
No. What we got was the notice of preparation.
Yeah.
Which means that they gave us 30 days to come up with our comments. Now remember, we came up with our comments last month, and they have been turned in. Hopefully, they forwarded to planning. This does not go to Phillips. It goes to planning, and planning will use those notes to develop their EIR.
Yeah.
And then, here's the next piece. Then they're going to give X amount of days for community, for public comment on the EIR.
Yeah.
The normal amount of time is 45 days. Now, you know for a fact, 45 days is not enough for a neighborhood council to process community impact and community comment and take it for a vote through our normal process, through committee, and then eventually to the board. So what I'm prepared to do, as I did for the NOP, is that I'm going to ask for no less than 90-day public comment period. However, I'm already talking to people such as planning and land use people who might be looking at it. I'm asking them to consider 120-day public comment period to give us the opportunity to get good community impact.
I just felt like they put the cart before the horse when they're saying, oh, they're going to put this in there and that, and the grounds haven't been, it hasn't been determined where that's feasible for those areas.
So you're hitting on that, and this is something that I think is really important. Many community members want housing built in and around that project area. Now, if housing is going to be built on those lands, they're going to have to remediate the soil a whole lot more than if they just use it for industrial use only.
Yeah.
So
But industrial use is different than having
That's right.
stores and restaurants and stuff.
Well, but
That's
where the
considered
stores
what?
and restaurants are, they're not refining on that piece. They're
It'll
not
be easy
refining
to
there.
remediate.
They're refining it on
That's the
everything
parking
else,
lot.
going south, because they have right there on Anaheim. That's where they have their entry gate, their main offices, and things like that. So the refining process isn't happening there. The refining process is where all those smokestacks and tanks and everything else that goes on there, and that's the stuff that really is going to be a big thing. But housing is an important issue too.
Me.
King, well, let me see. King, did you have something to say something about that?
Just briefly, if anybody has any comments or input to go through the Northwest Committee, you have my information. And this is a very, very popular topic. So, and we're looking to consolidate everybody, all stakeholders, comments, and we're taking it very seriously.
And if I can, to make this our voice a bit stronger, we are partnering with Central and Coastal, San Pedro, because this will affect San Pedro as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway,
I'm back to the bridge as a comment.
When
I was in the meeting today with the port, they talked a little bit about the bridge, and they said that because some of their container ships cannot get from one terminal to the next, and some of the terminals are not being used because the ships are too big, they are considering, and this is what's stalling the dates for when they start on the bridge, is they're going to raise it. They're going to figure out a way to raise the Vincent Thomas Bridge. And that's what they said today.
Okay. Well, that's still something that is under consideration. The redecking is a for sure.
Yeah, the redecking is a for sure, but raising it is also possibly part of it to get those bigger ships.
It's going to be almost like constructing a new bridge, and I don't see how they can do it in time for the Olympics and stuff.
Yeah.
I really don't understand that part. And that's more of a more recent consideration as opposed to the actual
new
project.
bridge.
So, Gwen?
It's almost easier to build another bridge between the two bridges.
Well, yeah, but
I said that to him. Wouldn't it be easier just to build another bridge and do
But
like
they
they
don't-
did
they
with
don't have the money to
other
do it.
one?
They
And
barely
said,
have enough
They
money
said
for
that the money is an issue.
they barely have enough money for the redecking.
Yeah.
Rebuilding a whole bridge, you're talking billions.
Gwen?
So back to Philip 66. Everybody who's here, consider this, that the entire area before there were refineries, there is a canal there. There is the watersheds around here. There were rivers and streams. There were marshlands. And, we should consider that we have an opportunity, like with Ken Malloy, the park. I don't know if you guys even noticed that next to the railroad tracks, all the way up Gaffey, along there is a watershed. It's part of the Palos Verdes, water that's coming off the hill. It's part of watershed in Wilmington. There used to be seabirds nesting. We have an opportunity to have a bike path and a return of things that were there. And you really perhaps should go back to the history of what the original inhabitants here had at one time. The reason people congregate along coastlines is because it's filled with migratory birds. Every kind of wildlife you can imagine, because all of the water that comes off of the mountains and in the ocean, you have nothing but richness of wildlife. And we have an opportunity to regain some of that. And the funds should, we have an opportunity to make these companies feel good about and perhaps be a star for having returned something that has long been gone, because this is a very industrial area.
Thank
And
you,
it
Gwen.
used to
We're going to have to move on.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay. So, but I want to make one other item. I want to emphasize committees and chairs. Don't forget to post your agendas. Okay? Please post your agendas for your committee meetings. Public, the one public space that we have to do it is at LAPD and the bulletin board. The other places, online and so on. Please do that. And please, chairs, try not to miss your meetings. Get your people who sign up to be and get to your meetings, because that's where the work gets really done, is at our committee levels. And if we don't meet in our committees, then we're not getting our work done. So we really have to be responsible for that. And if I can just say one other thing about this. Over the last, week and a half, there were 3 main events that Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council was involved with. Weymouth Corners, Candy Cane Lane, the lighting of the Christmas tree down at the bottom of 6th Street, and then yesterday's
Holiday parade.
the parade. We had a lot of participation, but guess what? There's still people who are not participating in these events, and I'm going to have to give a huge shout out to what's your name again?
Jim Brown.
I have to give credit to John. I mean, he puts a lot of work into this. Taking out the tent, taking out and breaking it down, taking the stuff down. He does a lot of work, and you know what? I was so happy. My heart was so filled with happiness. God, that's a Christmas thought. With the amount of people who showed up, but there are still obvious people out there who are not showing up to these meetings and to these events and things like that.
But we do have to say one thing. And I appreciated everybody that did show up. This has been probably, Mel and I talked about it, Kelly. This has been the most people I've had show up to these events. And, It's great. I mean, it was really great. It was
And it was
good,
recognized outside from other people
Yeah.
mentioning it to me that, wow, I was in a port meeting today, and Augie mentioned, you had an awful lot of people at your booth this time, and in the parade, it's the largest attendance I've ever seen in the parade. You know, so other people are noticing it too.
We just have to make sure that we all get involved, so it doesn't fall on the shoulders of one handful of people who are going out there. We all got to attend these events. We all got to help set up and break down, the stuff that we take out there. We all got to be a little bit more hands-on. So please, when the opportunity comes around, hey, the next one is going to be the movie night.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that everyone is involved. Everyone show up. Bring people out. Talk up this stuff, because that's one of the obligations that we have as neighborhood council representatives. We've got to get
It's where you
people.
could talk to your stakeholders. We do a lot of that with people. They come up and, we've had, Kelly gets involved, Mel gets involved, I get involved, Adrian got involved, Christina's out there pushing, Alonzo, he's out there talking to me, it's great, it's just, I'm going to put it in a weird way, but y'all want to be on the council. Well, then we all need to do our job. Kids are out there having fun. They enjoyed, Candy Cane Lane. You enjoyed, looking at and
I got so much feedback.
yeah,
from kids.
it's good. It's the same thing that I do, and I'll say this. I belong to the Assistance League that's on 8th Street. Every year, September to December, we take $100,000 and let the kids buy clothing at Old Navy. Elementary kids get 100, middle and high schoolers get 125. And if you want to see some kids with smiles, there's times we want to cry because they come up and hug you so they got new clothes. So, it's a way to give back. Go for it.
Just out of curiosity, because I know it was something we discussed in September, are we going to have some sort of name tag? Because I think at these events, if we had some sort of
We
identification.
do. We're working on that.
Okay.
Remember, that's what I said,
Yeah.
the lanyard?
Yeah. Okay.
And we're working on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We're already running late, and we still have a few more things. So let's go ahead and if does anyone have any questions for this agenda item? No? Thank you. Let's go to the next one. Bylaws and Elections Committee. Anything, Adrian? Yeah, I know you put a lot of work in that document. I really appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Just very quickly, Bylaws and Elections Committee will be meeting up again. I'm planning to have a meeting in mid-January, and we'll be looking at the standing rules. And then after that, so just mid-January, look around. We'll be meeting up again. Let's see here. B1, the status of filling the vacant A-row seat. I'm working with the executive committee to get a form out there. So people who are interested can sign up. And then bylaw revision period, August 1st to April 1st. Since we approved it, I'll be sending out the changes to Doug. So that's it.
All right, thank you. Budget and Finance?
Budget and Finance, really nothing to report, other than get that movie stuff to me for the events and stuff as soon as you guys approve it. But I have budget advocate stuff. So they had a town hall, and it's the paperwork that I gave you guys. And they had it Monday night after the executive boarding. I attended that online for budget advocates and Empower LA. And you have this in front of you, and I gave you some of the screenshots that they had of their budget. So what it is a couple of things that I'm just going to pull out of here that are really important, like Daniel for the NEAs. They're eliminating a lot of positions, and so Daniel's going from like having 9 neighborhood councils to probably having 11 or 12. So what does that mean? That means we may see less of him. There's, and there's more burnout, as well as there's slower response time too. So it makes it really crippling on our NEAs to be able to service the neighborhood councils. So that's one problem. The other problem is, because of the funding cut, our training that we do in Cornerstone, when we do our training, that looks like they're going to have to look for like going to the state to do the state training, go here to do this training, and kind of find free stuff, because if they don't find free stuff and adequately find training for us that they aren't going to have to pay Cornerstone for. Cornerstone costs them $20,000 a year. So what would happen is each neighborhood council would have to pay $10 per board member a year for our training. So that would be $170 a year for us to come out of our administrative fees. You know, so that's another thing to add to our $12,000 to run the board that would add to that. The other thing is Zoom licenses, they want to pull it back where they pay for them, and elections are coming up next year. If they don't get the funding for elections, we may be handicapped with paying for our own elections, which would be really a pain if that happened. But I mean, if they don't get the funding, then it could be a definite possibility. They're asking for $500,000 for 2027 neighborhood council elections. They're asking to have 4 project coordinators to have the 4 NEA positions, $364,909. Canva and Zoom we're already paying for. The other thing that I forgot to put in here is they generally give $10,000 to Neighborhood Congress, $10,000 to Budget Day every year. That is on the where there may be probably no $10,000 for Neighborhood Congress and maybe probably no $10,000 for Budget Day. So they're on their own. So is it going to cause where they might not happen, or they all go like online to Zoom and it be on Zoom for Congress this year because they don't have the funding, or Budget Day the same way? Don't know. But these are the things that we're looking at that are really being hurt. I included some of the screenshots from some of the report. But one of the biggest things that we can do as a neighborhood council is get involved in the discussion with Empower LA, you know, with their budget, as far as communicate with the budget advocates, communicate through the CIS that will be up shortly for Council File 260600, and also attend the Budget and Finance meeting and comment and public comment. Anybody can do that during for the city's Budget and Finance Committee meetings. And tell them you want Empower LA funded, you want the city clerk funded. Now, they didn't touch on neighborhood council funding because they said that a lot of people asked about it at the town hall, because Empower LA is only responsible for the administrative part of neighborhood council. The city clerk is responsible for the funding. And I really wish at that town hall they would have had a city clerk representative to talk about the funding to everybody, because a lot of the questions were about it. Every time he was opening up the comments that were submitted, they were about funding, and I can't answer that. We don't deal with that as the city clerk. So anyway, it was interesting. I thought it was very important that everybody.
This is good. Thank you for this.
The other thing is, I met with the port today, and I will have a full report for the white paper for budget advocates, but I sat down with the CFO and Augie, who comes quite often to our meetings.
No, he doesn't.
Well, he used to.
Yeah.
Years ago.
And
back in the
he
30s.
And what it was to discuss the port budget. Couple of interesting things that I didn't even know that I learned today. I always thought the port was part of the city of LA, and money funneled to the city of LA through the port for funding, you know, and gave money and residuals to the city of LA. Not true. Not true. They're like their own little city entity within themselves, their budget, and their residuals come from the retail of the containers and rental of the space. And so all that residual comes in, and then a percentage goes out to the public for the PAIP, and more money goes out to like certain projects, and they treat it like a little city council where each department submits their budget up through their executive. It gets sent to the Harbor Commission. It's redlined by the Harbor Commission, sent back, and then it goes to CFO for approval. The only thing they do is take that budget to the city, and they review it, but they don't approve it. The city has no say. And so it was really, really interesting. And so I'll have a full report for you hopefully next meeting or the meeting after for when the white paper's written on it.
Any quick questions? No? Okay.
The airport is also run like that.
The same way the airport, yeah.
Yeah, but the airport gives, LA gets a ton of money from the airport.
They may have a different agreement.
Huh?
They may have a different agreement.
Yeah, LA may, well, that's why it's called LAX, because it is
we
LA.
really need to go. We really got to get out of here, okay? Because we're holding up Parks and Rec people.
Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Public safety?
Nothing.
Okay. Youth and outreach?
It's in here. They can read it.
Okay. Yes.
It's really important, though, because we have a call for articles as proposed for the newsletter. We were debating on whether or not we were going to have a newsletter, and so we wanted to put it out to the board. If anybody has any article submissions, they should submit those to Chris or John within the next month.
Yeah.
Can you send that out?
I mean, it's in the minutes, but yeah.
Yeah. But we're going to need to remind people. I'm sorry.
Angela, I think it wasn't a newsletter. It's going to be a 2-page article in the San Pedro Today.
Newsletter / San Pedro Today.
Yeah.
Publication by youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Youth and community issues?
No.
Planning and land use? Yeah.
We were supposed to vote Christina in for,
But they didn't put it on the.
but it's not on the agenda, so we can't do it.
So we can't.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that it gets on the next agenda.
We voted her in, for
Okay.
us,
No, that-
yeah.
yeah.
We still have to come to the board, and
That's
I thought Chris would have mentioned it, but.
No, you got to tell me if you want something on the agenda.
Okay. Planning and land use, anything?
No report.
Environmental Sustainability Committee, Christina?
I just wanted to mention that the planting that we did in November at Peck Park by Elberon went really well, and we had a really great turnout, and we actually got like 140 plants planted before noon. So it was really awesome. And because of the rain, they kept, so that was pretty cool.
Thank you for that. That's great news. Christensen Science Center?
Nothing new.
Okay, liaison reports, real quick. Animal shelter, Christina?
Just an FYI, there's an animal health alert that the H5 bird flu has been detected in San Pedro and Palos Verdes.
Wow.
So, with the seagulls. So, just to make sure everybody is aware of that, because it's right here in our community.
Did they contain it, or?
No, it's just the first outbreak.
Huh?
It's the first outbreak, so there's probably going to be significantly more. The other areas were Van Nuys, Manhattan Beach, and Malibu. I can provide a link for more information, but this is just the very first.
Wow.
Does that
report.
affect our animal population?
For those that have poultry, it could be an issue depending on the aviaries.
Where they flew when they pooped, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about our dogs and cats?
Dogs and cats we shouldn't have to worry about at this time, but those that have outdoor aviaries
Right.
do need to worry about it.
Okay, great. Thank
Or
you for that.
chicken coops and the other thing I wanted to mention is Saturday, December 13th and Sunday, December 14th, there will be a Celebrate Shelters Pet Adoption Weekend here at Harbor Shelter. On Tuesday, December 16th, there will be a wildlife Zoom webinar. And on Saturday, December 20th and the 21st, there will be a Whiskers Wonderland adoption weekend. And they all have low cost, so.
And that's in the packet?
No,
Oh.
So I need
so
to.
we know
so-
what the Zoom is.
Let's put it on our website.
Yeah, I'll have it posted.
Great, thank you.
Christina, did they let you go in now? Were you able to go?
No.
Interesting.
Okay, people really think about adopting or fostering. That's so important. I'm going to tell you. Liaison reports. Okay, going back. PWP, anything?
No.
Okay. Public Works. Kane.
No.
LA Film Liaison. Cynthia.
Holiday schedule.
I'm sorry?
It's a holiday schedule, not many films right now.
Got it. Sustainability.
No.
Okay. Data.
No.
All right. Any announcements? Seeing none, hearing none. General,
If there's pizza left, take it, please.
that's under general public comment. Okay, next meeting, January 12th, 6 p.m. Please show up. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
For the record, meeting end time is 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's cool.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. If you travel, be safe. Don't be safe. Exactly.